My bad. We're on mute, guys. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tyrus the Warlock. Here another Wednesday, and we're gonna do a little bit something different. Um, I got two big issues I want to discuss. Do a quick update, real quick. We got about 3,000 uh troops from the 82nd Airborne readying up to deploy to Iran. So anybody who claimed that ground troops wasn't going to be a thing, ground troops are a thing. Um, One interesting tidbit that the U.S. Treasury dropped yesterday, guys. Apparently, our country, good old America, we are now insolvent. Uh, I believe that uh, we got about $6 trillion in assets, about $42 trillion in liabilities, and we now spend more than we actually bring in our GDP. Yo, I really want to know podcast. Yo, how you doing, man? Uh Good evening. I really hope you stay and chop it up with me after I get into the major topic. But for my minor topic, guys, I wanted to talk about the SAVE Act. For all you guys not aware, the SAVE Act, the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, narrowly passed by the Republican controlled House, stalled in the Republican controlled Senate. A recent modification by Senate Republicans to attach a provision that would ban trans athletes in sports failed to pass along party lines. While not shocking, it's another pathetic example of Republicans being worried about all the wrong things at all the wrong times. We have an Iran war spiraling out of control by the day, an oil crisis that has made an already rising inflation rate even higher, Americans losing our jobs by the week, record small business bankruptcies, a crumbling infrastructure, massive delays in airports around the country, and a bunch of other shit that's high priority I forgot to mention. But you know what isn't a priority? The SAVE Act. You know what else isn't a priority? Another culture war, specifically one aimed at the 0.002% of the athletic population here in America, that being the transgendered American athletes. Trans Americans as a whole make up around 1% of the population, and the trans athletes specifically might make up 0.002% of the American athletes as a whole, not 2%, not half of a percentage, 0.002. And there might be that many. I'm probably overstating that number. The point is that the modification has nothing to do with election integrity. And so I'm glad it failed. Attaching this stupid ass anti-trans provision to a highly redundant voting bill is not only a waste of everyone's time, it serves to something sinister. We already have federal laws on the books that state only US citizens can vote in federal elections. And we attest to that under penalty of perjury when we register to vote. States already have voter verification systems, not to mention the fact that non-citizens voting in our federal elections has always been extremely rare. And guess what? When evidence of voter fraud does pop up, those individuals get investigated, charged, and convicted like the system is designed to do. This bill does nothing but add burdensome red tape to our voting systems, and the rhetoric surrounding it only furthers to sow distrust in our election process more broadly amongst each other as Americans. So, what sinister purpose does the SAFE Act really serve? It serves as a catalyst to Trump's scheme to rig the 2026 midterms in his favor, based on continuous lies that the 2020 election was stolen from him. Trump recently instructed the feds to raid the Fulton County election office in Georgia, citing already debunked claims of voter fraud in 2020. These sort of actions are designed for voter suppression, a historically Republicans win elections in federal government when voter turnout is low. At a GOP conference in Florida, Trump recently said, and I quote, "It will guarantee the midterms. If you don't get it, big trouble. The people are demanding it. Every time I go out, save America, save America. We want the Save America Act." That's all they talk about. They don't talk about housing. They don't talk about anything. That's what they talk about. And if you send it up there, you will win the midterms and you will win every election for a long time. End quote. And that's right, guys. Americans don't talk to Trump about any of that nonsense like affordability and housing. After all, in his own words, and I quote, "Affordability is a hoax perpetuated by the Democrats." End quote. Let's not forget he also tied the upcoming midterms to the potential consequences he will face. As he told Republicans before, and I quote, "You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, they'll find a reason to impeach me." End quote. Now, here's a guy with immunity granted to him by the Supreme Court before he even won the 2024 election. Since then, we have gotten multiple crypto rug pulls, Doge raiding government data and selling it off to third-party companies, destruction of the East Wing for a fucking ballroom, nonstop bribes like accepting a luxury plane from the Qatari government, blatant cover-up of the Epstein files, inviting and meeting the war criminal Vladimir Putin in Alaska, a global trade war that we're actively losing again, and now another war in the Middle East that is now in its fourth week. Y'all let me know what I missed, because that's already way too much for him to still have a job. The reality is that he should worry about being impeached because he's gone out of his way to earn it. He has actually focused on the bulk of his campaign promises. Had he actually focused on the bulk of his campaign promises, he wouldn't have to worry about it anyway. We might just be talking about a blue ripple in the midterms, or even the Republicans maintaining control of both chambers of Congress. Instead, the moment Trump was sworn into office, he has completely focused on enriching himself and his family and friends, allowed corporations and other elites to raid our treasury, diminished our standing across the globe, and weaponized the DOJ to take revenge out on his political enemies. In the Republican-controlled Congress that's supposed to be a co-equal branch of government, has enabled all of it. So, of course, Trump and the Republicans are focused on the voting process right now. This has been one of the most least productive Congress in modern U.S. history, and the country continues to take steps backwards under their leadership. Remember, the one policy they got passed, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, had massive giveaways for the rich while cutting Medicaid spending for millions of Americans. Can't exactly go around the country campaigning on that policy based on current events. And we've seen this movie before, guys. The Republican Party gains control of Congress, can't get anything done, and when shit hits the fan, they try to start a culture war to distract the population from all the real problems going on. Seriously, what's next? Abortion? The one major strength Republicans had was immigration, but the acts of ICE and DHS through the last few months has a growing number of Americans souring on that crackdown, especially when U.S. citizens are getting caught up in illegal immigration raids by undertrained and understaffed federal agents. Transgendered athletes and the trans community overall didn't cause that. They aren't the reason housing costs continue to increase, why grocery and gas prices continue to rise, and they damn sure aren't the reason we're at war with Iran. But watch. Observe how many conservatives take the bait anyway, and happily. Somehow, transgendered athletes and redundant voting laws are going to force millions of conservatives to vote for more foreign wars, more tax cuts for the rich, less affordable health care, more job loss, continuous decline of our roads and bridges, covering up the sex trafficking of minors, and the further dysfunction that's taking over our country in the name of owning the libs. Because for some reason, a transgendered American wanting to play sports is taking it too far for conservatives. And that's more important than all the other shit going on in our country. Throughout our history, no demographic has engaged in identity politics more than the conservative American. The thankfully failed modification in the SAVE Act is just more evidence supporting that very point. I want to save my fellow Americans too. And yes, that includes conservatives, because the policies I support also benefit you. Because that's the point. It benefits the majority, regardless of political leanings. I'm not interested in voting against my own interests just to own the conservatives. That would be incredibly stupid. The SAVE Act does nothing to actually save or preserve anything except Trump's tyrannical ambitions. So I ask you all this. Come the midterms, will we as a nation vote to actually save America, or will Donald Trump be making Cuba great again next year? And so I want to look at some of the chats real quick. We got terrible times, but his promises are a lie. Hey man, don't let MAGA tell you that. They still believe. Hey, they doubling down on it right now. Kyler, you control political enemies. That's all you got to do. Amen. I agree in general. If we're talking about just in general, like strategy, um, Kyler, do you see any control going on right now from anybody at any point of our government? You know what I mean? Like it's a big problem, bro. You know what I mean? Terrible times again. That's why he lies, man. Again, record. He been broke the record for most lies. Like again, he just wakes up and lies. He gets on this Truth Social app and lies. All he does is lie, and all people do is try to find a way to make it sound like the truth, knowing it's a damn lie. Sparta HQ Network says, "Hey man, long time. I remember you. Where the hell have you been? Where you been at, Sparta? Or have I been AWOL too much? You gotta let me know, man." Private Snowball 67. It's MAGA, dude, not conservatives. MAGA supports Trump way too much. Conservatives are actually able to criticize Trump. The Dems are the same way. We don't need a Republican or Democratic president. How many conservatives voted for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024? Donald Trump has so much control over the conservative identity and the Republican Party. Remember, he got his own daughter-in-law co-chair of the damn party. And as much as I use as much as I used to try to separate MAGA from conservatives, let's be clear, man, there's not much difference, because the traditional conservatives, Private Snowball, aka the neocons, are rooting for this war. If you haven't noticed, all the traditional conservatives are all on board because they love the military industrial complex. That's a reality. You know what I mean? Sparta HQ Network says, work and try to grow on my that network, or trying to grow. Hey man, whatever you're trying to do, I support you, man. I hope you're doing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, this SAVE Act is insane. Like, again, I cannot stress this enough. The law is redundant. we already testify under perjury when we go and register to vote that we are US citizens. It is already illegal for non-US citizens to vote in federal election. So you're literally passing a law to enforce the law already on the books, right? It doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, they tried to freaking I wasn't even really trying to the trans modification was just really an example to show you guys how unserious they are. Because even if you're I know that this network specifically definitely leans conservative, and I'm definitely one of the few liberals on here, but it's just I don't know. Man, I don't know. I am so confused trying to figure out my fellow Americans that I literally just called it blank right now, and I think all y'all saw it. Private Snowball 67 says a good amount, but that doesn't mean they aren't able to criticize him. Also, by the way, I know over 40 conservatives, and out of all of them, only one supported the gay war. Private Snowball, I'm going to take you at good faith, but I need you to also take me in good faith when unfortunately, who you know and who I know doesn't matter, because what about everyone else? Right? Like Private Snowball, man, I can't ignore the fact that prior to the war, and this is a fact, prior to the war, MAGA supported going to war with Iran at a 24% clip. And then Trump got us into the war and it flipped to 85%. Private Snowball. That's not an accident, dog. I really want to know podcast. DL says MAGA is splitting all across America. Respectfully, DL, and after I get into the red pill thing, I want you to hopefully you could come up here and we could chop it up about it. Or you know what? BMU, if you could drop the link now and we could spend a little time on the voting stuff before I get into the main topic, that'd be cool. Again, DL, MAGA isn't really as split as we'd like to think. There's some vocal people and there's definitely some pissed off people, but again, man, look at how unfortunately the majority support it, and the majority of right-leaning people support it, because the majority of right-leaning people still be on this bump on your chest like a fucking gorilla, like might is right. You win by strength and strength alone. Like, unfortunately, like that's a character trait. Right. And so unfortunately, Dale, yeah, man, a lot of these dudes be Private Snowball. Yeah, you just said MAGA, not conservatives. MAGA treat Trump like he is a god when all he does is be a good gay for Israel. Private Snowball. I understand. By the way, I love that you're doing this right now. Like, this is good. Conservatives are still cool with it, and they still rock with MAGA, and they still vote side by side with MAGA. So you can't really separate the two. Private Snowball. And then again, look at it with the war. Private Snowball. MAGA and conservatives as a whole have always supported Israel without question. Remember, unfortunately, we're supposed to have a separation of church and state, but they keep using religious doctrine to defend the crap that they're doing in the Middle East, right? And that's because, unfortunately, especially with evangelicals, Private Snowball, they really got this like doctrine or this biblical text that Israel has to survive in order for God to return, or some crazy stuff like that, right? And greater Israel, and it's just a whole bunch of crap that we shouldn't be involved with. But unfortunately, conservatives are going to use that religious angle. They're also going to use the neocon angle with the military industrial complex. You already know how bad that is. Combined with, yes, there's still significant portions of MAGA, and they're all in it together, man. At this point, it's like you trying to separate me as a progressive from the far left. Like it's not really gonna work out like that. Um, so yeah, guys, like think about everything we got going on. Our economy, God, I don't even know what we're gonna do about our economy, guys. We got so many things tanking right now. Tanking. And oh yeah, Iran rejected our peace plan or our peace deal we apparently gave them. Before before I get into the main topic, Trump sent the fucking peace deal to Pakistan. So Pakistan could relay the damn peace the resolution to Iran. And yet he's up here telling our country and telling the world he's in direct contact with Iran. By the way, Iran rejected that shit. Right? And what's sad, guys, and I hope y'all understand that y'all know I love my country, but it sucks having to admit this. We can't take either Iran or Trump at their word. And y'all know we can't. They're both, even though Iran is our enemy, the propaganda from both sides is way too strong. That dude could be absolutely dead. The Khamenei guy, that new guy that took over, the son, he could absolutely be dead. He probably not. Private Snowball 6-7 again. So the Dems have both parties have supported Israel since. Yeah, man. Bro, I agree. When we talk about, I want to be clear here, man. Even though I want to be clear. I do vote Democrat. Right? I'm not gonna run from the label. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm an independent. I'll vote. Nah, bro. I'm liberal, and the Democrats mostly line up with what I believe in. So I'm not gonna run from that. But since 1948, absolutely, both parties they had shoved up Israel's ass. Remember, Private Snowball, we've been messing around in Iran since 1953 when we first started the coup there, bro. Hawaii and Alaska weren't even states yet. That's how long we've been messing around in the Middle East. Right? And then people act like the thing that happened in 1979 wasn't a get back. And then they also forget that good old Republican Jesus, aka Ronald Reagan, armed the Iranian regime. And by the way, you know God, Reagan really screwed up a lot of things. Private Snowball. You know he armed the Iranian regime, and he armed the Afghanistan that turned into the Taliban. Right at the time, that was a more kind of understandable because I believe Russia was trying to invade Afghanistan, and so. But it's just, I guess it goes to the more broader point that every time we get involved in the Middle East, it's a shit show. I cannot remember the last time it actually worked out. And instead of taking the hint, we just double down. Right? Yeah, and I vote right leaning, but I will agree with you on the main problem being AIPAC and Israel. Yeah, man. I know you're right leaning, Private Snowball, but damn, bro, like hopefully you can understand this with me because I was in the military, man, and you know, most of the dudes in there are conservatives too. Most of my friends, just for the nature of the lifestyle, is conservatives, right? So I talk to a lot of them guys. A lot of them dudes are my friends and my brothers. They got my six. I know it. But even with your political beliefs, for you and any other conservatives out there, it had to be a smack in the face for you to be constantly told, like us, that we can't, that universal health care, that's socialism, that's commie shit. We can't afford it. And yet we give 40 billion to Argentina that has universal health care. we give money to Israel, who has universal healthcare, but we can't get it. Fun fact, Private Snowball, and I've said this before about our healthcare program. If you do the numbers right now, for the last 5-10 years, we have paid enough to have not only universal healthcare in this country, but world class standard. We don't have to spend more. We don't even have to be like, damn, I wish we spend money on healthcare than we did on war, because we already spend enough that we could have the best. Right now, it's to the point of, I wish we weren't spending money on war. I wish that money went to Pell Grants, so our kids could at least get 2-year associate's degree covered, or a trade school covered out the gate. You get what I mean? But you know what's crazy? Israel got that kind of shit for they people. Argentina got that shit for their people, but not over here, huh? In America, we're not allowed to have nice things like that. We are a warrior race to a fault. That's what Americans are. And it seems like our elites and our wealthy are hell-bent on keeping us that way. Bibi Netanyahu is the worst president we have ever had in our history, Private Snowball. And I mean that with every fiber of my body. But so now we're gonna go ahead and get into the main stuff. Now, before I start the main topic, I need you guys, I want my single fathers, single dads, dudes that are just sloppy, messy in relationships. Basically, you guys who don't have a problem getting laid, let this go in one ear and out the other. Fortunately, YouTube demographic says that's not most of you. So this is probably going to hurt, guys. And tonight, what I want to talk about is how the red pill content that you're watching has turned you into a fucking loser. There has rapidly become a dire situation in this country where the internet and reality are now intertwined. Once two distinct spaces, the two have merged together over the last 6 years, creating new conflicts and widening existing divisions amongst American society, specifically between men and women as it relates to dating and relationships. These factors, combined with economic turmoil and a hyper-materialistic society such as ours, has created an issue in our country named the male loneliness crisis. Now, I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a relationship expert. None of that. I'm a normal guy who got lucky. Marriage going on 18 years, 2 children in high school, pets, and a mortgage. I'm going to be entering a new phase in my life in a couple years where we are becoming empty nesters and having conversations with wifey about financial plans or major renovation projects on our home have become more common as the months go by. Due to rising costs in every aspect of our lives, we are considering home additions due to the reality that our kids might have to stay with us longer for the first part of their adult lives. And that's okay. There's no fault of their own. They came in, there's a dysfunctional country. My marriage is like anyone else's marriage at this point, guys. It's been up and down, sometimes chaotic and unpredictable, epic and memorable, but mostly a positive experience I wouldn't trade for the world. A journey I don't want to end until I bite the dust due to old age. So when I first heard about this male loneliness crisis a few years ago, I was intrigued and was looking around YouTube and such to get more information on this issue. I'm used to navigating YouTube because I'm always watching how-to videos for small projects around the house. Obviously, based on my limited experience, most of the guys I know are either married, in relationships, or just messy individuals when it comes to women. The issues of guys having trouble staying in relationships or wavering commitment in marriage has always been a topic in a ton of communities since I can remember. So the conversation moving to the digital space wasn't surprising. What I didn't expect was the amount of guys not even making it to the relationship stage. Commitment issues is one thing. Not even being able to get a date is something else entirely. Now, this is where I have to point out that historically, the majority of men don't get married or procreate and all the fun qualifiers. That being said, in modern times, the rhetoric surrounding men struggling lines up with the fact that even I started noticing less guys out and about, whether it's shopping with families or other public spaces. There is a noticeable decrease in the amount of men in public. It seems whatever red pill content the men were consuming hasn't made it any better. If anything, it's worse. So tonight we're talking about you, the average red pill viewer. What unfortunately has become your typical American male loser. That's you, DL. I'm going on a monologue right now. I'm not talking about you, bro. So
I was about to say, it's like that's you, DL. Like, what happened?
But yeah, guys, that's for you watching. That's you, your typical American red pill content viewer. Somehow, you haven't been on dates in months. Your phone is drier than the Sahara Desert, and you can't even make friends because for whatever reason, other dudes don't even want to hang out with you. Never mind women. Your social life is so pathetic that you decided to make some red pill content creator your digital daddy. You sit behind a computer screen laughing with your favorite podcast bro as he insults a bunch of OnlyFans models who are only there for internet exposure. The women you're laughing at are also the same women who would have you eating out the palm of their hand if you were given the chance. The reality is that you and other viewers are gonna subscribe to their page as soon as the stream's over. The reality is that you also watch red pill content because the top creators are surrounded by women you wish you could be with. And that live stream is the closest you'll ever get to a group of pretty women in one location. And no, y'all wouldn't just smash. You would date these women. You would put a ring on it. By the way, somebody's putting the rings on these OnlyFans models. Somebody subscribed to their page, paying monthly, hoping she notices them. You specifically, you would jump all over that chance. You would turn that hoe into a housewife if you could. And what's crazy is there's dudes who have successfully pulled it off. We talked about it yesterday. But you're not that dude. You haven't been that dude, have you? You're not capable of that. The things you're currently capable isn't even good enough to elevate your own individual lifestyle, which is one of the reasons you went down the red pill path in the first place. But as we can see, whatever lessons you learned being in that space hasn't helped. Want to know why? Want to know how I know it hasn't helped? Because your favorite red pill creator has been in this space for a few years and their relationship status also hasn't changed, just like yours. Literally years of the same tired ass talking points, no evolution, no growth, just stale gender war after gender war topics over and over and over. Despite all the women getting put in their place on social media by these red pill creators, you still haven't gotten laid. The women that do get put up on a pedestal by the red pill guys also haven't shown an ounce of interest in you. Even the pygmies don't want you speaking to them. You're so desperate for attention that you really think the bartender likes you or that the stripper was really into you, because that's the closest you have come to consensual contact with a woman in a long ass time. Hell, Your digital daddy told you that every guy essentially has to pay for sex when it comes to dating, right? Even if that was remotely true, you're still too much of a broke ass loser to be part of that dating pool because somehow women working has directly prevented you from getting an education and a career. You don't get any attention from normal women, and you can't get any attention from women online with mental health problems. Other than maybe your coworkers, the only women you speak to on a regular basis are the ones in your family. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't want to talk to you all that much, seeing as nobody else wants to. The few red pill content creators that have good intentions and want to actually help you better yourself, those channels don't get propped up by you. They don't have pretty streamers and OnlyFans models lined up on their show all the time. They don't have the OnlyFans models sitting there looking dumb, being asked gotcha questions for 3 hours at a time. But we all know the truth, right? The ones who actually can give you solid feedback on how you can operate better in life will be ignored because you've already convinced yourself that it's someone else's fault for why you can't get a date. And your favorite digital daddy feeds you confirmation bias after confirmation bias, telling you those women online, by telling those women online they're the problem. You and the other viewers eat that up all night, even though your digital daddy is trying to smash those same women right after the stream is over. But you're listening to IG models about only wanting wanting men with six-figure salaries and won't accept anything less, has you completely ignoring the actual realities of the world. Quite simply, if a woman likes you and finds you interesting, it's going to cost nothing to spend time with her. Those preferences, like salary requirements, instantly become suggestions if she likes you. If they even remember the standards they had set in the first place. She doesn't care if your crib is messy, if you still live with your mom, even if you are a financial train wreck. Hell, we see women in this country every day fighting over broke ass men, even some with children from multiple women. We see plenty of women crash out and show loyalty for dudes rotting in prison as we speak. The preferences you hear women state only apply to the man who really never stood a chance from the jump. You. So if you find yourself talking with a woman who seems to be overly interested in what you have and what lifestyle you can provide her, that should be a red flag that you need to readily acknowledge and keep it moving. Bad women do exist, and you have to keep your head on a swivel, guys. But if running into gold diggers and other women with unrealistic standards makes up the vast majority of your dating experience, the problem is you. Did you ever consider that the creators you're watching have negatively affected how you view and talk to women? Somehow, you're claiming that these guys are giving you great advice. And yet, other than a handful of examples of other guys who have had success after listening to the content, for you, shit's gotten worse. And by the way, there's more of you than there ever been before now. A bunch of red pill losers. They're everywhere. It's a fucking pandemic in America. No wonder the elites keep trying to bring in migrants. A big chunk of available men in this country are just straight up undesirable. And that includes you, bro. Not pointing at you, Uncle Jeff. You know I'm going on a diatribe right out. We see your buddies who call themselves passport bros failing miserably overseas. You know how much of a loser you gotta be to get rejected by women in impoverished countries? You're so trash that the visa ain't even worth it for them. Damn, son, that's just fucking pathetic. It's something about how you operate in life that attracts those kind of women. And what's worse is that they aren't even into you. That's why the standard seems so sky high to begin with. The standard doesn't exist for every guy, just you. You can make as much money as you want, be as physically fit as you can be, wear the best clothing, or hope certain demographics get kicked out the country just to increase your odds, but the women you're pursuing still won't choose you. She can have 2 or 3 baby daddies, finally come to her senses, even though it might be too late, and she still won't choose you. She could be an independent woman, hyper focused on her career that hits whatever stupid ass wall you red pillars talk about, and given a redo in her life, she still wouldn't choose you. Hell, bro, even the dudes that women go out here and settle with had at least met some of the expectations. But you, there were no expectations for you because you were never a serious choice. As you currently exist, you aren't worth choosing in any scenario. No matter how bad it gets in these extreme hypothetical situations you love coming up with as a way to trash women, she still isn't gonna date you because in her eyes, you're still a fucking loser. And the women who would be interested in you are the modern women you spend all day talking shit about. You know, that educated, independent woman. The one who doesn't need a man, she wants a man. The one who wants you based on your character, not the materialism you can or can't provide. The women who don't give a fuck about you playing video games because they also play video games. And who also want to save money and not run your pockets because it's too expensive in this country right now. But you're not interested in her. Why? Multiple reasons. But the main reason is because you can't even name a redeeming quality about you that doesn't revolve around money. How do you act in challenging situations? Are you reliable? Do you have empathy? Do you treat women like grown adults or like property? Who are you and who do you hope to be in the future? If things go south, will you be there? Those questions put you in a defensive posture because it's foreign to you. You either can't answer those questions or worse, won't because you know you ain't shit. And the women that really care about those qualities, you know, the majority of women, they don't look or speak like any of the glorified porn stars you watch on stream nonstop. Did you ever consider that these content creators are ruining your perception? Of course you haven't, because considerations of others is some better male shit, right? You claim that feminism and technology ruined modern relationships, yet the fact that millions of men who designed and used the technology that has caused the most harm in our society is hardly ever brought up by you, if at all. The country from the top down is dysfunctional under our watch, not women. We men have molded society into what it is today. Every US president has been a man. All but one vice president has been a man. Most of our Fortune 500 companies have been and are currently ran by men. The US Congress is ran by the majority of men. State, local government, men. You see, the man that raised me, my dad, taught me to take responsibility for my actions, to be accountable for the things in my direct control. Growing up trying to live by those standards, by those lessons, I noticed the biggest threat to meritocracy at the micro level, as well as a free and fair market at the macro level, will always be men like me, as we have always been the greatest threat to competition. You can see it at the highest levels today. Our pro-business capitalists do nothing but consolidate companies in order to control the market, not compete in it. Every tech startup is essentially has business models based around the hope that they get bought out, lacking any sort of long-term vision. That's that's men doing that, encouraging that. That's just one example of the kind of climate men have created in this country that we exist in today. And men specifically like you, not you, Anton, you know I'm going on a diatribe. Today's red pill loser has cheered that horse shit on for years. While average American men's life expectancy drops, suicide rates climb, drug addiction skyrockets, job losses pile up, the infrastructure crumbles, you decided to blame all of it on DEI, feminism, wokeness, the LBGT, and continue to be hyper focused on trying to police women and their alleged conduct. And yet you still have the fucking audacity to in another conversation or in another stream claim our country isn't focused on the important issues. Well, no shit. You aren't focused on the important issues either. And you voted for people who reflect your values. You don't say shit about our crumbling roads and bridges or any structural issues like healthcare. All you do is defend and uphold some vague image or stereotype about how masculine men are supposed to act without actually helping to solve one fucking thing in our country. The American man today is overly obsessed with culture wars, and that problem was championed by red pill losers such as yourself. Let me be clear. Obviously, we as individual men are limited in what we can do for the country at the macro level and all that fun stuff. The point is that under our watch and those before us as American men, from who we vote for to how we operate on a day-to-day level, this country has gone to shit. Women did not get us into $39 trillion in debt as a nation. Men did. They haven't been responsible for getting us into every single war in our history. Men did. Women weren't responsible for why factories started shutting down and going overseas back in the 80s. Men were. Women aren't the reason we don't have great healthcare in this country. Men are. In today's world, one of the major reasons you're struggling in life because there's never been an easier time to call someone out on their bullshit. People who actually have time to do their research roll their eyes every time you open your mouth about just about anything. And let's be honest here. Nobody really wants to be around someone that's just full of shit all the time. Dudes just wanting to be homies don't want to be around people like that. You already know women don't want to be around dudes like that, at least not from a romantic perspective. And hell, guess what, red pill guy? You don't want to be around guys that's full of shit either. Yet you still haven't come to terms with the fact that you're the guy who's full of shit. Can the red pill losers like yourself change for the better? Be decent guys and not be full of shit? Absolutely. I believe in you. But it takes multiple steps. One, looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, how did I get to this point in the first place? It also requires you to really evaluate the red pill community and the type of creators you listen to. You should be seeking out information to better yourself for yourself, not someone else that doesn't exist in this moment in time. If your goal in that community is to get advice on long-term relationship and marriage, then watch creators who share that same goal. Don't listen to creators who have clearly told you they have no intentions on settling down in the near future. Make sure you aren't elevating those creators whose whole gimmick is to shit on IG models and OnlyFans models all day. If you are being honest when you tell people you're looking for real conversations and advice, don't watch guys who clearly play the I'm just a comedian and this is entertainment every time shit gets dicey. Stop claiming the guy running a sex cam operation in Romania is giving you sound long-term relationship advice, because he isn't. Listen, guys, it's easy to shit on all of you when all your talking points and discussing in real life situations come from 35-year-old and older podcast bros who take absolutely nothing serious and say a bunch of divisive, hateful shit disguised as edgy jokes. When you open your mouth, it's so easy to tell you only know the headlines because your favorite red pill creator only read the headlines. And you have super vague analysis on topic he probably shouldn't have touched to begin with. So if you don't want to be a red pill loser, then you need to actually follow the advice your community loves to tell women. Choose better. How you doing, Anton?
Yo, what's going on, Tarus? I had to hop on when I found out what you were doing, and what's good, DL Saint?
What's happening, fam? How you feeling?
How you doing, man?
Staying busy as always. The problem with a lot of these red pill incels, I'm trying to see if I can find the right word to describe some of them. It's like they find ways to hold themselves back, and instead of taking that responsibility for what they're doing wrong, they're making excuses and looking for who will make the perfect scapegoat. I remember learning this in high school, and this is going back 30 plus years. Excuses are tools used to build bridges, which lead to nowhere. Those fools who use those tools are masters of nothing. I learned that in high school, and that was back in 93. And I had difficulty trying to remember when my teacher told me this. But the fact that I can still read it off the top of my head like it was nothing, and I think about it, it makes perfect sense. Everybody wants to find someone to blame. Everybody wants to say it's somebody else's fault but themselves. So to me, I feel like this. Be the change you want to be, but be mindful of who you're getting that advice from. Do you want to get it from somebody who finds any way possible to justify disrespecting individuals? Or are you willing to take advice from someone who's in a stable situation, who has stability, who has structure, who has discipline and order and foundation?
Or is at least trying?
Exactly. Because you don't get to this point overnight. And that's the thing people don't realize. I remember at times stuff that I was dealing with, and I was like, I want to get out of this rut. I have to do something different. I remember doing Amway, and one of the things they had us do was read books. And I'll be honest, it was tough reading books. I still remember a good number of the books that I had to read. And a lot of those books I have in my library. 10 Rules to Break, 10 Rules to Make. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Give Your Life a Successful Makeover. Dream Making in the Dream Taking World. I started reading those books and a couple of others. And I learned to apply it to myself. Because the only way you're going to see the results of what you're reading is you have to put it into practice and let it happen on its own too. You have to be willing to change as well. It's hard to change a light bulb when you're not in the room.
No. DL, how you doing, man? Good evening. Thanks for
man, I'm
on.
good. Yeah. I mean, you caught me in the middle of things. I'm like, I got some time. Let me support the brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the everybody in the chat, man. I see Lost in Translation in there, bro. Hey, before we get started,
shout out to Lost in Translation. Shout out to Twin Hog, Uncle Jeff, Mandrell. Nice to see you guys.
Mandrell, everybody in here. But for real talk, y'all need to go over to Lost in Translation podcast, man, and listen to the music that brother is making. Man.
Yeah. Crazy ass music, man.
Man, that music keeps me calm,
that
bro.
music is so relaxed, bro. That music is soothing. It's relaxing. It's mellow.
Hilarious.
And Tarus,
I'm waiting for the collab with him and Black Man. I'm waiting for him and Black Man to do a couple remixes.
DL, what you got? What you think about? I know I went on 2 different monologues, but what you got for us,
boy? I mean, I got a lot. I mean, like if you wanted to really delve down into this conversation, you know, I'm down for that anytime. Just let me know. But you know, when you talk about the red pill, and it's what 4 years down, you know, down that rabbit hole, dealing with a lot of these guys, and what I've noticed
years ago, remember?
Yeah, and these dudes, you're right. There are a lot of guys out here who have a lot of problems. Your monologue, you addressing the guy that would never listen to you. It was a great monologue. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's worthy of Hollywood. I'm sitting there listening to your monologue. I'm like, bro, if you wrote this, you need to be in somebody's writing room in LA. Your monologue was on point. and it was flawless the way you ran.
I got English 102, 101, and
Wow.
102. I'm like a real good writer. Yeah.
Wow.
You
I
on
got
like
a
you on
post
some
on that.
yeah. English
Okay.
202. You know what I mean? But I'm here to tell you, there are a lot of dudes out there who need a lot of help. And the reason I'm still down that rabbit hole is I want to try to help them. Here I am, you know, they holler at me like, yo, Uncle Saint in the building. And, you know, the crazy stuff that you see, you know, the clickbait and all that, the Inside the Manosphere documentary that what Louis Theroux did, all that's just red meat clickbait. That's just money. Louis Theroux is doing exactly what HS Tiki-Taki is doing. They're feeding the red meat to their base. And everyone's overlooking the guys who need the help. Now, in the red pill space, I'm making up numbers here, but I would say it's about 20-25% of the guys over there who really want to do better. And that same number of guys who do get better. Like there's plenty of great information, there's real information in that space. But you got to know what you're looking for. You got to know how to move, because it's a lot of bullshit over there too. So yeah, you know, because I wrote notes. I listened to your thing. I'm like, I'm gonna write some notes down so I don't forget shit. You know what I mean? So men definitely have problems. And then women talk about these guys. They don't like these guys, you know, like this red pill dude you're talking about, and you know what women are saying about this guy. And one of the things I always ask women, because you know they echo a lot of the things you were saying, Brother Truce. And I'll ask these women, who raised them dudes? You know what I mean? Like, who raised them dudes? When you see these young women out here with they little boys, how do they dress them little boys? You know what I mean? They get proud when they're like, oh, look, my son a little player, and my son is this and that. They raise the very dude right, that becomes this red pill, whatever. Either he's gonna
ironically, DL, and ironically, those who do that, when they see that, they don't want to take responsibility. Like, oh, that ain't my fault. What?
Exactly.
Accept responsibility for what you created.
Accept responsibility. I just finished a book. It's my first. I just completed a manuscript. This is my first book. I can't wait to release it. I'm a self-publisher, so I, you know, still got a little work to do. I got to get it, you know, published and everything. But here's the thing: the name of this particular book, and this book is made for the red pill space. The name of this book is "The Game That You Were Never Taught." That's the name of the book, and I go through and I address everything you're talking about here. And for that serious-minded man who's trying to make a difference in his life, he's going to read that book. And it's going to hopefully set him on the correct path to get to the success that you want. These dudes look at Justin Wilder, Myron Gaines, they look at the Tates, and, you know, it's like, oh, rah, man, that cool. And they all in on it. You know why they all in on it? Because these dudes are really invisible. I don't, does anyone really understand what it means to be truly invisible? I know I didn't. I ain't never been invisible in my life. I try to hide. And I be getting seen. I lurk in the shadows, and they be seeing my ass. Do you know what it's like to go out there and be in front of people, and then come back 2 weeks later and they have no idea who you are? They just looking in your eyes, and that has to hurt, bro. And I ain't talking about just women. You know, you going out there trying to be cool, and the dudes look over at you like, man, who was you? Hey, get up out of here, son. You know what I mean? That has to hurt, and this is all part of the problem. So I challenge people to, especially guys who got a little game, people who understand what's going on, to help. It's not enough to have a guy who's married and come back to the red pill world and say, you know, you should live my life. Well, what's your life like, sir? Well, I got a wife who doesn't listen to me. She takes all my money, right? She dictate what happens in the house. She got my son thinking he's trans or whatever. I'm not saying that's the case all the time, but, you know, she dresses my son up in girls' clothes. Like, well, why don't you do something about it? You're the man. Well, you know, I don't mess anything up. Or she if she divorces me, I'm going to lose half my stuff and I'm going to have to pay child support. That's not the dude you want to get information from. If anything, you want to listen to him and like, man, how do I not get into that situation? I don't want to be him. And there's some people in the red pill space who can help you. I don't want to take up too much, space. You know what I mean? Because Uncle Jeff got to talk. But there are a lot of people out here pointing the fingers at the red pill world because they want to. They need a boogeyman. But at the end of the day, how is it that we got all these jacked up dudes running around here? Right? How did this happen? And I think it came from the everybody gets a trophy. The timeout generation. Right? You got all these boys out here ain't never been punched in their mouth. This is the first thing I ask these dudes when they come to me because I do the coaching thing. I talk to them, I do some coaching. First thing we sit around and talking, no cameras, just us talking, just men, no women around. Like, bro, real talk, man. Have you ever been punched in the mouth? Have you ever been in a fight? The vast majority of them shake their head no. Can you imagine that? You ain't ever been punched in the mouth. You ain't never felt that sting, tasted that blood. That's part of being a man. That's what happened to you when you 8. You know what I mean? Let alone being 18 or 28, you ain't never been in a scuffle. So we got a lot of work to do. And I think we can do good work if we stop trying to shame these dudes, because if the red pill point their finger at these women who go on Fresh and Fit or the whatever podcast or whatever, these women who are on Instagram and TikTok and just basically selling their bodies, like they're sexualizing themselves. If you point your finger at them women and people be like, oh, shame on you, quit being a misogynist. But then they're going to turn around and just, blast this space, you know what I mean? And you get to see all of the misandry coming out. And it's tough. You got to teach men how to deal with this. You got to teach these young boys that, guess what? There are losers in this world. Everyone doesn't get a trophy, bro. And right now, you a loser. Let me show you how to work your way out of it. So, I mean, but I got more stuff, but I'm gonna hang in here for a while. So I want to get off the mic.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of this. Uncle Jeff, I'm gonna let you rock just as long. I went on 2 long monologues on the topic, so I'm letting everybody rock out before we really open it up. Uncle Jeff, good evening. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Let me tell you something. There, young Jedi. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you shake it. I had some food on the stove, but that wasn't the only reason I came down. In my opinion, you shouldn't have nobody up here till you done with your diatribes, because they are that fire.
I agree.
Bro,
you shouldn't let nobody up until you finish, man.
Until you finish, because we just sitting here watching you burn a city down.
For real.
Real talk, bro. I got nothing but respect.
Lay that napalm.
Bruh, not a dangling participle to be found. Just really, bro, you came at it. So hats off to you there. Number 2, as a writer, that is fingers crossed on a couple of projects that I'm trying to sell right now. Brother Saint hit the nail right on the head, bro. I don't know if you have a desire to write, but I can give you an assignment. I'm gonna give it to you in front of everybody. Yeah, here's your writing assignment.
Oh boy, let me write it down real quick. Hold on. What is it?
Just listen.
Okay.
And he froze up. Give him a minute. Give him 10 seconds. Give him 10 seconds.
There you go. That just don't get. Yeah, there you go. And I learned from watching yesterday that you might not have heard. Okay, pick 5 years. Go 5 years into the future. And what does the world look like through the eyes of the dude you want people to be, men to be, the dude who is the absolute opposite of that, and a character in the middle that is struggling, and you can make them whatever ages you want, and make that world, bro.
Yo, Uncle.
That's your assignment.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna kill it. Now,
but yeah, go ahead and thank you for that. But your actual thoughts on the topic now.
Okay, yeah. Number 1, I think you should first off, the son don't give a fuck who is blind. Your matter of fact, on point. It's a bit of a pendulum swing away from the way I see things.
Mm-hmm.
but it's fucking perfect for your age and your time. I'm supposed to be on the sideline with glasses and headphones going, son of a bitch, I told him to run pro right 34 slant. What the fuck's he doing? You are in there. You are right there where you're supposed to be. There is a demographic of invisible young males who I believe, and again, bruh, remember last night, because of Noah's disease, you ain't gonna reach them all, man. You doing the right thing. Saint, your book is the right thing. The both of you, I said this earlier, no amount of prayer and fasting is going to change God's mind. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are going to ride, and you can't pray one of them off a horse. The shit is coming, and what is left will be who is using what you say to use already, and a fringe that sees the hell they're in as different. You are not going to reach the bolus, bro. You're not. Don't try. Don't beat you up about it. And this is what I'm because I don't have nothing. There's nothing real, bro. You didn't leave shit on the bone. You released 1,000 piranhas. You ain't shit. All I can say is critique to you and you young cats, as I am the first wave of old dudes in the future. You guys are the second and third waves of it. Keep it up. And I'm out the way.
So I appreciate it, but what you three specifically have, even though I'm not that much younger, maybe, but especially with DL, you guys have been working on viable solutions. And so, yeah, I had the critique. And so maybe we can actually focus on what to do with that critique now. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I'm feeling you on that, man. So I look at, I guess we should start with dating. You know, maybe we should start with, like, man, Unfiltered in the building. Maybe we should start with dating, right? You got these guys who are having trouble, like dating has always been tough, but then you also have, we're at an era where dating has changed completely. It's unrecognizable, man. Like technology has completely changed everything. And these guys are kind of trying to deal with that. They were already bad at the old school way. They never really got that training, right? And then they come into this, they're completely lost. So I would definitely say, man, you got to start with dating. And what are they dealing with, man? They're dealing with being ghosted, right? You're going through all this. You think you got a connection with this person, and all of a sudden, poof, they're gone like a ninja and a bunch of smoke. They're gone. They got to deal with that. They got to deal with the foodie date. You got women who go out with you and they have absolutely no intention of getting to know you, want to be with you, but you agreed to take them to Shay, expensive as hell, a place she can't afford because she's just as broke as you, but you paying for all this and she's taking pictures and all that. Date's over, she's gone, then you get ghosted, right? They don't know how to deal with that, right? There's no real intentionality in dating anymore. You can't really approach someone at work if you don't know what you're doing, because you can get in a whole lot of trouble. HR is gonna send you a nasty gram because you paid LaRonda a compliment talking about your hair look nice, and then she go to HR saying he was joking about my hair because I got alopecia, whatever it's called, my hair fell out, and he's like, no, I thought you really looked good. He in trouble, so he don't know how to do that. They don't have any game, right? Like we can't overstate that enough. And again, it's what we're in that they think that everyone gets a trophy. So in their mind, they think they've already won when in fact they've been losing. So we definitely got to start with dating.
DL, the best way I can look at that.
Before you go, Anton, DL, Richard thinks we're clones. I guess the Chinese got
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we are, man.
Go ahead.
Yo, when you look, like, piggyback on what you're saying, DL, it's almost like a combination of an oh shit moment and walking blindfolded in the minefield. That's the best way I can describe it, because it seems like no matter what you say or do, or don't say and don't do, you're going to get burned. Maybe the best way I can describe it, instead of A combination of a no shit moment and walking blindfolded in the minefield. Maybe the best way to describe it, a Kobayashi Maru, a no win scenario. Because it just seems like, what the hell is going on? Like, you hear about how young people are doing things, and even my wife and I talked about it. We were talking about like all this nonsense too. And the one thing we both agreed upon is this: if we ever get divorced, we are not dating seriously again. Because it's just, it's
Chaos.
a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck. Plain and simple. It's like and per.
Let me hear.
You muted yourself, Antoine.
Good evening, by
Sorry
the way.
about that.
What's
Sorry
up,
about
y'all?
that. All right, and I was saying, it just seems like the way things are going now, some people don't want to go on a blind date, but they have no qualms with a random hookup.
Well, that's easy to understand.
We're gonna BMU. What you real quick? Cody says, "Is this the Bald Man support group?" Yeah,
Shout out to Cody's King. Cody's King. Hey, before Black Man go, hey, real quick, if Private Snowball, if you're still in the chat, this is for you.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
Right, keep going.
I'm here with the anti-delusional committee. I just heard Tarus bring a hurricane, killed everybody, and expected everybody to come back and rebuild again.
Right?
He expected everybody that was dead to get back up and build again.
No.
After he killed them. And so I want to say this. There are certain things that we do as men that a lot of people don't like. Tyrus, you are an avid gamer yourself.
Yes.
There's a lot of men online right now that say men that sit at home, grown men that play video games are bitch ass niggas because they sit at home, play the game, and their wife in the kitchen cooking and they playing video games. I'm a gamer myself. I love playing the game too. I've heard men on platforms that say grown men that play video games. I've heard old school men say these niggas get home. This is why we taking their wives and fucking their wives on their lunch break, is because they more concentrate on Madden 25 rather than their wives' thighs. So I've heard that before. I've heard a lot of things. They want to be the Call of Duty, so I gotta be on duty with their wives. All type of shit like that, right? They saying it, right? And I think that we can't get up here and tear down an entire generation of men who were raised by their mothers. And the majority of those men were son husbands. I know personally. I have a nephew who his mother doesn't allow him to take out the trash. He doesn't allow him to take. Oh no, she washes. He's a big ass 16-year-old boy. She washes clothes. She make his bed. He don't take out no trash. What kind of man is he gonna be?
The fuck?
It's gonna be the same man that you're describing, but we're not going to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that we talked about it last night. The root The root of the problem is that we're going outside. I don't understand. Let me reference this. Let me say this. Maybe y'all can help me. Uncle Jeff, when you go to the bank, you have a debit card, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you go to the bank and you slide the debit card in the ATM machine, and you have to put in a what to get your money?
A PIN code.
Right, and that's a secure PIN code, correct? Nobody knows it but you.
That is correct. My wife.
Okay, all right, right. If you don't have insurance, or you don't have any bank coverage for your checking account or your savings account, and somebody gets that PIN number, would you go to a stranger and say, hey, listen, hold my card, the PIN number is 3454? Would you do that?
No.
Okay, so these are the problems that I'm having. We have some of the most classy women, the most educated women in our community who go out with their debit cards, hand it to a complete stranger, and give him the code. And then when he withdraws everything out of the bank, then she wants to claim insurance on something that she gave away. This is the problem. And I don't know why we're not addressing the problem. We can sit up here and say, men did it, and men did it, and it was all about the men, and it was
You know
men
why?
did it. And guess what? Guess what? I've seen evil women in my family. I've seen evil women at my job. My sister is evil. My mama's had evil moments. Why can't we talk about it? Every time I hear grown men get on these platforms and downgrade other men who look like him, it just gives me the Tupac syndrome. It gives me the Tupac syndrome because Tupac loved his crackhead mama, the whole crackhead mama, but he said he didn't want to have no feelings for his daddy.
And I'm
did not know that his daddy was alive because she lied and told him he was dead.
Exactly.
Continue BMU making you feel that way because there are thousands upon thousands of these red pill guys with these panels trashing women all day. And BMU, unfortunately, you proved my monologue right, because here I am as a man addressing other men about the shit we gotta do, and the first thing out of your mouth was, what about the women's?
No. Okay, so let me say this. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you some questions real quick. Do you know who Ricky Lake is?
Yep.
I've heard of him.
Oh, you don't know her? You don't know who
Ricky? I do.
Before my time.
No, I do. She had a talk show. She used to be an actress. She had a talk show for a period of time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask those questions because he said he didn't know who she was. But I wanted to just name a few because I don't think we had this. The Red Pill, Sally, the Jane Whitney Show, Oprah Winfrey, Ricky Lake. All these shows who were ran by women in the 90s who can remember the 90s. These women had an everyday show bashing men from sun up to sun motherfucking down. And then now, 10 years, 20 years later, the red pill comes, everybody gets fucking amnesia about the last 30 years of television where they put men on stage and manipulated them and emasculated them in front of millions of people on these talk shows. And then when men start speaking up and saying, and then Tyrus, no offense to you, but all the men in this red pill space, they're talking about the women in our culture. Tyrus, you don't have that problem. You're not dealing with no black woman, sir.
Why my tolerance for men? This is why I have such a high standard for men, and my tolerance level for men is super low. Because BMU, respectfully, as my brother, you just said a whole bunch of horse shit. Like, you right now just gave all these fucking dudes a participation trophy.
Absolutely not.
You just gave all these dudes you really just gave these guys the no child left behind excuse.
Okay.
Damn.
Like this just like you're coddling these fucking dudes.
You understand? No. The dudes that were raised by who? They were raised by who? Who were they raised by? Who were they raised by?
These guys.
Who were they raised by?
No, BMU.
Who were they raised by?
To be talked to like that because guess why, BMU? They talk to women like that, so why can't they be talked to like that?
Tyrus, we just
BMU. No, BMU. How about answer that question? I answered yours.
What's your question?
Answer that question.
What's the question?
If men could talk to women like that, why can't I talk to other men like that?
I think men have the authority over the woman.
Period. And I as a man will have authority over a certain amount of men, right?
Exactly. But then
guess what, BMU? If the man is going to talk to a woman like that, I'm going to talk to a fellow man like that. And guess what, BMU? You know it too. The way these men talk to women, they don't seem to have that same level of audacity when they talking to us.
Oh, I hate that shit.
I'm just saying in general, like BMU, these dudes, for some reason, they ain't got the heat for us. But when a woman comes up on the panel, all of a sudden, they whole demeanor be changing.
Hey, listen. Well, one thing I can say about Black BMU is BMU the same yesterday and today ain't gonna be the same way tomorrow. I don't give a goddamn if it's a male, female, dog, cat.
I'm talking about single men. I'm talking about single men incels. I'm not talking about BMU. So I don't know why you got offended.
No, I'm not offended. I'm saying that you're up here bashing a bunch of men who were raised by women, and they're taking their
Gentlemen,
but who are raising them?
One band, one sound. One band, one sound.
One band, one sound.
A combination of single women, people in relationships, and single men.
Okay, excuse me. Could I please just jump in here? Please,
Yeah, jump in there, Jim. But I want to know who raised them.
Okay. Okay. Here's our problem. We insist upon having these conversations in tandem. They are two separate conversations. Terus, it is okay to talk about scallywags because they fucking exist. BMU, it is okay to talk about these little wishy-washy, funky-ass beta males regardless of how they got there, they're there. The problem becomes when you insist upon playing tennis with these subjects. You will be on an oval dirt track for fucking ever with this chicken and the egg shit. Now let's decide, because I happen to agree with you both, because you're not wrong. You're just trying to.
Oh man, he was cooking too. Damn, he froze.
No, give him 10 seconds. Give him 10 seconds. Give him 10 seconds.
5, 4.
I agree with you both. It's just the problem is you're making the peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich right now. Let's either talk about peanut butter or let's talk about mayonnaise. And we can talk about them both, but we need to give 30 minutes to peanut butter and 30 minutes to mayonnaise. Yes, it's some funky. I don't believe any man I respect would have his son. We're going to start calling them nail polishers, BMU. I don't believe that any man on his own raises a nail polisher. However, there are 100 ways to become a nail polisher. Partly, and a few of those ways, is because some of your daddies left.
I'm still trying to get over the peanut butter and mayonnaise thing. That's not something I want to eat.
But like DL Saint,
exactly.
but think about what DL Saint just said. DL Saint just said.
So wait, guys.
One band, one sound. One band, one sound.
Guys, if I may, let's figure that part out right the fuck now. Are we making a peanut butter sandwich or are we making a mayonnaise sandwich? We can make both, but we cannot talk about them together because it is counter fucking productive. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, we can agree. And since this is my show,
Your show.
Yeah,
then we're gonna talk
and
about
you
that.
guys talk about women's all the other shows.
Absolutely.
That's what we're gonna talk about tonight, BMU. The men.
Let's talk about the men.
Oh, and listen, and that's my point. It's like you have a get a hard on from talking about niggas. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's like your dick get hard when you get to talking about men. The men. It's that feminine fucking shit that pisses me off.
You know what?
It's that feminine shit that pisses me off.
I'm gonna fall back on that one. Yes,
because the reason I said that is because you take so much.
Right now, we are in every position. We maintain all the positions that matter as far as leadership and influence.
Absolutely.
The women, even today, with all their independence, still like, in general, to follow a man's lead. So yes, I'm going to focus on the fucking men because we are the so-called leaders. BMU, if I was to listen to you, then yes, I would. My wife would wear the pants in the house because I'd be worried about, what's my wife doing? What is she not doing? Baby, why can't you change? Well, damn, BMU, if the woman is the one who has to do all the change and you just told me she's the leader and not the dude. You're telling me I'm talking to the wrong person. If I go to your house, I shouldn't talk to you. I should talk to your wife because she's capable of adapting and evolving.
So we still talking about these together. Okay, I tried.
No, Uncle Jeff. I just want to make the point. Today, I'm talking about men.
Got the point.
BMU.
Got the point.
Get offended.
That's not what you want to do. You want to keep going at BMU because you just made the point.
No. I'm literally telling you.
Who didn't get it?
I just want to talk about men. The men in leadership position. That's it.
All right. So here's the deal.
So a man, I'm saying this, and he can cook. And a man in a leadership position, a lot comes with that. And when I mean a lot comes with that, when I'm telling you, listen, I have zero tolerance As a man, I'm going to demand my motherfucking respect. And so I have zero tolerance for bullshit. So ain't no woman finna talk stupid to me. No kid got to talk stupid to me.
With love,
nobody gonna disrespect me.
with love.
Ain't no man gonna
you,
disrespect me. I'm telling you, I got the same kind of smoke for everybody.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna change.
Okay. If I could, I have an idea.
Yeah, do your thing.
Let's shift gears. Here's a solution.
Yeah.
I think women should say this, but dudes should go first. Hey, I'm going to show you exactly who I am on the first date. You know why? Because I'm going to put a $50 cap on it. I'm going to take you out with $50 and we're going to have a ball.
Shit.
This is what I told my daughter. When you start first dating a man, I want you to tell him, I want you to take me out and I want us to have fun in your world and you only have $50 today. That's how you figure out who a man is. If you don't have the influence, here's how you figure out his influence. How the hell, with $50, did we get to eat at this restaurant? Oh, well, my cousin is a manager here. He has resources. How do we get to whatever his perk is? And is that perk worth me to him? How do we get to see a professional football or baseball game? He's into baseball and he didn't spend the $50 I'm talking about. Who is this dude? Or this dude don't have none of that. So you know what he did? He went to the grocery store and filled a picnic basket and cooked the food himself. There's no way not to know me if I ain't got but $50. If I tell you that I'm only going to spend $50 and you don't want to go, I just save myself a problem. Let's discuss that.
I get where you're coming from with
than a task.
Well, I get where you're coming from with that, and this is what I tell guys in the same situation. Don't even discuss money. If you're dealing with a woman and you're trying to set up a first date, and somehow money comes up, like actual numbers, move on.
They go.
Move on,
man.
We're not even gonna have that conversation. Move.
Man,
if you want to see me, right? If you want to see me,
come on, bro.
We don't need any money. Think about, because I think I am the oldest person on the panel. You know, I'm 55. Anybody older than me?
Oh, bless your heart. I'll be 61 in May.
Damn, black don't crack, man. It's hard to gauge our ages, man. It's hard to gauge our ages, but you know what I'm talking about.
I got 40 more push-ups. I got 40 more push-ups for the day for 200. So yeah.
Salute to you, but you remember. But let's get into the Wayback Machine, right? Let's go back to the 80s.
Come on, bro.
Ain't nobody in my hood have any money? Are you kidding? Ain't nobody. Money was never a question. If a woman wants to spend time with you, she will do just that. A lot of you young folks, y'all don't remember the real phone. Not the cell phone, the real phone, the house phone, the real phone.
The one with the 80-foot cord on the wall.
Yeah, 80-foot cord, bro.
The one that goes from the kitchen to the living room to your bedroom upstairs.
Yeah, to the bathroom and everything. So
the other extension, get you out. Okay, it's 9 o'clock.
Exactly, on the other phone.
Exactly.
Boy,
you ain't cool no more. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And here's the thing. Y'all remember falling asleep on the phone?
Oh,
remember who was that? Who was that? LL Cool J talking on the telephone for hours at a time, or else I was your house and you was at mine.
No, that's
LL wasn't talking about no money.
That's Houdini.
That was Houdini. Yeah, Houdini. Friends. Houdini. Y'all, I might not be the oldest, but I think my brain done rotted faster than y'all. Man, all the times I bump my head on the drop zone, I used to be prepared to.
Your head's always in the clouds. That's why.
But nah, bro. Well, yeah, for a little bit.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I told R-Pain, because he helped paint the Titanic. I told R-Pain,
stop picking on the old man.
If I just want you guys, I'm my ears on the ground, guys. And I understand back in the day, yes, I'm in my early 40s. Yes, I used to be on the phone and fall asleep on the phone. There was some of the most beautiful times where boys had to actually go up to girls and have a conversation.
How about that?
Guys, I have a wake-up call for you. That doesn't exist anymore. And the type of people who are being birthed from this, especially the dudes, when you can sit at home and FaceTime your girl for 6 hours and you don't have to go out with her. You can sit on the phone and talk to her. or you can sit on the phone. Like men do not, they don't, it's not required. It's not required for men to do the things that we used to do to get women or girls. It's so much, and I'll say this because I have young children. It is so much easier for boys now.
Oh my God.
To just fuck and have sex. And I wish that Dr. Nakumbe was not working for the federal government right now. And I wish that he could come back on his network and tell Tyrese the statistics, because he has a PhD in this thing. I wish he could come up here and tell Tyrese the numbers of the children that are 12 and 13 years old. And he could tell you in his scientific mindset that by 12 or 13 years old, some of these children have 5 bodies already.
Bruh.
This is what we're doing. And you can go back and watch the old show. I had Dr. Nkumbe on the show talking about this from a professional PhD perspective on children and their sexual desires early. And he said these children at 12, 13 have already slept with 5 to 6 people already, and they're 12, not even 15 yet. So what I'm saying to you is they mamas are teaching them. There was a lady, I don't know if y'all saw it, she went viral on TikTok, where her son took a little girl on Valentine's Day. He pulled her name.
PMU, where was the dad? Where was the dad?
Where? What dad? Where? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Where was the dad?
In what situation? In what situation?
You keep whining about, bro.
In what situation? In what situation? What are you talking about?
You brought up women again, bro. We talking about the men. Where are the men?
Oh, whoa. When did I say women? When did I say women? Roll the tape back, because I can do that. I'm real good at this shit. I say children.
No, bro.
Say girl or boy.
There's this women. They being raised by these women. You
whoa. When I did not just say that. I said children. And then I said, there was this lady on TikTok talking about her.
Tape back.
I said, yes. I said the woman had a son. He picked a name out of a Valentine's Day bucket. The little girl in the class, he's supposed to take her a gift. He took her a Valentine's Day card. The little girl said, I don't want no damn card. I want some money. My mama said, don't take nothing from no man unless it's some money.
BMU, why are the men raising the daughters like that and the other boys like that?
Why are they raising the boys to do what?
Why are the men raising the little boys and the girls like that?
Like what? Explain. Define. What are you talking about?
Like you just finished saying. They're getting these bodies at 12, 13. So why are the men raising their children to be a bunch of little whores?
Are they raising them to do that?
I'd like to answer that if I could.
Is it epigenetics?
I think maybe my answer
is it epigenetics? Is it passed down? Is it passed down from the parent to the child? That's facts.
Let's see what I've got to say.
Is that epigenetics?
Because I'm not going to get anything out of him.
Epigenetics. I just said you don't want to talk about that though.
No, it's not that you're not going to get anything out of it.
That's scientifically proven.
The two of you, we are in a room full of super friends. Okay, right now, Superman and Batman are going at it. They don't like each other. And Superman think this is going to be an easy ass whooping, but Batman got a kryptonite bat.
Thank you, Alex Keaton. BMU literally said they mamas are teaching them in that diatribe. That man literally forgot what he said 10 seconds after.
Alex Keaton used to come up here and get his ass. Alex Keaton used to be one of the people that come up here and get his ass. So Alex Keaton, you stop listening to Alex Keaton because he used to come up here and get his ass cooked. That's why he don't come up here no more.
Okay, but
so you stop listening to him.
Hold on.
One band, one sound. One band, one sound.
Leave him down there.
Hold on.
If I could jump up his ass up real good. Leave him down there.
If I could jump up real quick. So we went back in the Wayback Machine and we were talking about how we were dating and how we were learning today. Like we're on the phone, no one has any money. The point I wanted to get to is I remember vividly going out countless times as a teenager and then as a young adult, just walking in the park. We used to go up to the park every Sunday in Cincinnati and just walk around hollering at chicks all day, every day. So when I talk to these young guys now, jumping back, jump cut back to reality. When I talk to these young boys and these young men, and they start complaining about how women want money. They want money just, you got to cash out them just for them to answer the phone. I'm like, why are you talking to that woman? Because the situation we're in now is because of men. And when you get into the red pill world, like when you really get into the red pill world, every dude to tell you it's the man's fault. Don't care what your situation is. I said every day I do a live. If I do a live, we're talking about this sort of stuff. I'm like, man, it's my fault. I know what happens in the family court system because I'm the one who smashed and shot up the club with this crazy chick. I knew she was crazy. I thought I could, change her home to a housewife. I didn't think she was too far gone. I ignored all the all the red flags. Right? I went outside when my head wasn't right. I broke every one of my personal rules. I knew better, and I got caught up. It's my fault. It's not her fault. I don't blame the state. I think the rules are asinine. I don't think anyone should be out here paying $15,000, $25,000, $55,000 a year or more on child support for a child. And when the government keeps you away from your child, you know what I mean? So, and those rules might change, but it's my fault as a man. And that's what I tell these dudes. So if you're dealing with a woman who refuses to go out with you to get some ice cream, hell, you willing to buy the ice cream. Coffee dates and ice cream ain't cheap. You know what I mean? Like, you willing to buy that shit. If she won't do that, then move on to the next woman, because there's another woman out there who would love to go out and get to know you. That is
it may or may not work. It may or may not work, Tyrus. But I recommend that you guys go back. I did a video with my son. And I had a conversation with my son. I don't know if you saw that because a lot of people say, "Oh, we talk about the women's." I have a whole goddamn show I did with my son, and I think you guys should go.
Questions,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I told him what to say, how to handle things, and one of the things that you got to teach your son is the rules that I gave that I got so much pushback for. And anybody that's been rocking with me for a long time know that the women cook my ass because of the things I told my son to do, the responsibility my son's supposed to have. I say, when you go out on a date, son, make sure you're in a dark place, in a dark car, in a dark area where nobody's at. Make sure you FaceTime somebody. Make sure you have some type of visual where somebody can see you, because anything
have line of sight of everything.
Yeah, anybody can see you. Anybody can accuse you of something. So we need to make sure you video. I know it may seem extreme, but I need you to do that. When you're talking to a woman, you want to make sure you ask these questions. You want to make sure when you're dating her, you want to ask specific questions, because for everything that she has done, there's a consequence for what she has done. So you want to ask questions. Hey, how is your mom and dad? How's your relationship with your dad? How's your relationship with your mom? Right? My dad, if she starts saying my dad ain't shit and my mom was a bitch, you already know that's one red flag. If you see, ask her, hey, listen, I understand that you may be sexually, you're sexually active. We both may be sexually active. Hey, listen, how many times have you went to an abortion clinic? Because I know with the abortion comes trauma, and I know untreated trauma is something that we may have to look at, moving future, and we may want to have a baby of our own one day. So how many abortions have you had? I need to know these things, because when I get in a relationship with you, I need to know these things, because when these things come up and you start snapping at me, or these things, all these men that don't come in you, and you start to manifest these atmospheres from all these men that you slept with, I need to know what I'm dealing with. And I tell my son, ask those questions. Ask them. Then I don't care who get offended. If she get offended,
you know what it is.
If she gets offended, that means that you have hit a nerve. That means that you have tapped into something that would have caused you problems 10 years from now. Thank you for snapping on me or going off on me for asking me these questions. I saved myself some time and I dodged the bullet.
So, Uncle Jeff, I'm gonna let you in real quick. Just DL, I agree with you up into the family court thing, and the reason why is because just like women, just like men could pull a fast one on women, there's women who be Decepticons too, bro. Like, a lot of times when it comes to relationships, both men and women, you don't find out about that person till it's the hard way, bro, till it's too late.
You know what I mean?
Just real quick before Brother Jeff goes.
So the family
Just real quick
that's either or, but I agree with you on the initial part about like how you operate.
We agree, Tyrus.
It's just real quick, and before
the same thing.
Before Uncle Jeff goes real quick to what you were saying, yeah, they're Decepticons on both sides, and this is another red pill tenet. You must vet this woman, and I tell them for at least 2 years, and that's when all that stuff comes out. And so go ahead, Uncle Jeff.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna co-sign that as a victim of the California family court system.
Don't tell me you in Van Nuys court. Don't tell me you in the Van Nuys court out there, bro.
No. Oh, bruh, no. I'm 111 South Hill, and stood in that hallway.
Okay, Hill's a little bit better. It's not much better, but the Van Nuys.
Oh no, I got a friend. I have a friend And I'll because I'm really pushing for fathers' rights. I'm going to put it out there. I got a friend. Shout out to my man Evan Lionel, hilarious comedian who has a storied, horrible family court. His shit. You talk him and me. I'm a close second. But that anyway. Let's get back over here. Number one, let me deal with your agreement, BMU and Tarus. Where you agree is that you're both making sandwiches. Yours is a mayonnaise sandwich. His is a peanut butter sandwich, or whichever. But we agree
both
because
making sandwiches.
We're both making sandwiches, but they're not the same. We are all smart here. The thing that BMU that all of you have brought up points to getting to males to understand the importance of their seed, importance of bloodline.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your goal? This is the importance of whores. What do you think in coming to America? Sowing your royal oats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Whores have a place. Once I am emperor, Uncle Jeff, Emperor 2028. I believe in my body, my choice. Absolutely. To include prostitutes. That's their body, it's their choice. I think that every you said it. Every abortion clinic will neighbor a whole house. You got a choice, man. Here's your opportunity to make a better choice. Stop wasting these women's time if you just out here willy-nilly with your seed. From the beginning of time, although the number is bigger now, Tarus, I have some bad news. From the beginning of time, it's been dudes that wasn't getting no pussy.
Agreed.
It wasn't me. Wasn't me, bro. This the ugliest I ever been. I ain't had no problems.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest. I was that dude that was friend zoned. I was that.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was younger, when I was in high school and college,
you,
I was the dude that got
Thank
friend
you for the
zoned.
transparency.
No. But see, here's the thing, bro. It's not something to necessarily be ashamed of, because what we are talking about is the embryo for this thing that is these men that Tarus is discussing. These dudes are the 2.0 of that.
Yeah.
Only it's worse because all I got to do is get on here and go, oh, Jeremy is a clown. Send. That darkness is what I believe Tarus is reaching into, and I don't think he's reaching into it in vain. I think we need to, not unlike what BMU said. Here's the shit I taught my son. Matter of fact, I think it happened on your show, BMU. There was a sister who she gave her son this advice: when you go out on a date, make sure you have enough money to buy the most expensive thing on the menu.
Yep.
I said, yeah, that was your show, right? That was your show.
Yep.
I said, you know what the problem is? And I had this revelation that women give advice to, and I'm just dipping into women jazz a little bit, Bruce. Women give advice to their sons that's good for the girl the dude is dating. They don't give them good advice for your son. You forget, you love him, she don't. And it's not possible. So it didn't even make sense to her what I said. Son, this is the money you need on a first date. Whatever you eat times 2. Whatever you eat times 2 at a restaurant that you go to already. If you ain't up in crustaceans every night, then don't have your ass in crustaceans the first time you see this girl. That's backwards. The woman you love with all your heart is who you're supposed to take there. This chick you just met, we're finna eat. I can find out everything I need to know about you riding a bike with you. I don't have to spend that kind of money. We need to have a guide for these young men. It's enough to pick them out. They ain't shit. We know they ain't shit. After tonight, Tarus, you ain't got to tell me how they ain't shit no more, because goddamn, that was on fire.
Exactly.
That was on fire, bro. 3-pointer from across the street buying a Snicker. It was perfect. I have nothing to say about it. What's the solution for it?
Uncle Jeff, I have a question.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for the entire panel from me. Over the last, my sister-in-law, shout out to her. What's up, Megan? She lives in Houston. She is a director at a hospital there, one of the directors of HR at one of those hospitals there. And we had a discussion yesterday. She said, brother, I want to talk to you about something that you could probably talk about on your show. I said, okay, sis, what's up? She said, we just got a report after the rodeo of the STD count, STI count here in Houston after it's over. I said, okay. She said to me, we have 36,000 cases of STIs since last Sunday come through the hospital. I said, 36,000. And then she gave me a breakdown. 8,500 syphilis, 1,500 HIV,
Damn.
25. Oh yeah, she gave me a whole breakdown. She said, you can use this for your show, brother. And she said, I know we talk about this all the time, and don't get a big head because I'm telling you the truth. She said the majority of these STIs, I don't want to say it because we're talking about men tonight. But then, Tyrus, I will send this to you right after the show. My brother happened to send me videos of some of the activities that were going on in Houston in public.
Oh, shit.
The situation that got so, Tyrus, I'm going to give this to you, Tyrus, because you're my brother. I'm going to give y'all this right now. This is the problem. This is the pandemic that we're in right now. There are men, black men, walking by the pool at this celebration. And guess what happened? 2 older women who were in the pool pulled this guy towards them, pulled down his shorts, and began to give him fellatio.
Damn. This sounds like Freak Nick to the next level.
No, listen. They didn't know him. The older lady took it out of her mouth and put it in her friend's mouth. Now, I'm going to send it to you, Tyrus. I want you to see it. On the other side of the pool, there's a woman.
Some shit I be watching anyway, but go ahead.
On the other side of the pool, there's a woman sitting on a man's face. Now, the man who is
that's the shit I be watching.
The man who is sponsoring this event says, all the men in here who got their cameras out, you bitch, you are niggas who don't get no pussy.
Shit.
Because you got your cameras out. He says, so all you niggas in here that don't get no pussy with your phone out, because they're trying to get everybody to stop recording. We're going to put your phone down and we'll find you some pussy, you non-pussy getting niggas.
Well, you find me the pussy first.
So after that,
how many times wish they were at that party you talking about? BMU, the guys right now, the majority of men wish they were at that party.
No, I'm asking you. I'm going to ask you a question. So my brother told me that if you were at this event, because I'm from Louisiana, so at Mardi Gras, I'm gonna tell you like this, because you said men don't get no pussy. I can take 40 nerds to Mardi Gras, and every one of them will get some pussy.
You know what? I disagree with you.
I can take 40 of them, and every one of them will get some pussy.
I disagree with you 100%. I disagree with you 100%. You want to know why? You want to know why, BMU? Because I watch dudes in a country in Germany with a 7-to-1 ratio in the club be so fucking lame, they still want interested in their ass.
Well, come on, Tyrus. It's lame and everything, Tyrus. It's lame and everything.
You don't understand. A lot of these dudes don't have game. A lot of it is like you keep making up these anecdotes, but the evidence says these guys out here are fucking lame.
Okay, so Tyrus,
there is a reason why there's only a select few guys at that party you're talking about. And by the way, you're talking about from the perspective of the women, right? Hey, did that guy that got his dick pulled out, did he pull his pants back up, or did he let it happen?
No, sir.
So it took 2 to tango, and that man was A-okay with it, right?
Tyrus, how old are you, Tyrus?
I'm 38.
When you were 24 and you was passing by a pool and you weren't married, and you pass by a pool and a girl said, come here, and she pull your pants down, put your dick in her mouth, you gonna tell her, stop?
Probably not, because I lack, right, BMU.
At 24, I was doing crazy stuff too.
That's my fault because I lack dick discipline. I lack any sort of discipline out in public. Because BMU, respectfully, if I said no, stop, technically that's sexual assault now, right?
But it's not about
Tyrese.
discipline at that age, man. You're a human
Bruh,
being. I mean,
listen,
you're a
24
man.
years old.
You're a
Listen, I
male
did some-
human.
See how I answered the
Listen,
question?
I
I was like,
did some-
yeah, I'd let it happen too. Because I'm a guy and it's consensual.
And guess what Uncle Jeff said? Uncle Jeff said he ain't never seen a man wrapped in a blanket saying, she took it from me. Listen. I'm telling you, Tyrese, I was getting to a point.
I know BMU. You didn't say anything about the guy.
I'm about to.
No. Listen. Did you say anything about this guy being taken advantage of against his will? Yes or no? Yes or no? Were the guys there being taken advantage of?
Yes.
So it wasn't consensual.
He was a willing participant.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, it was consensual. So it was consensual.
But we're getting off mission here, though, fellas. We're getting off mission here.
Hold on. Because again, the point is what agency, and this is what I was talking about in my monologue, DL. At what point are we going to look at the agency of the man and be like, what are you doing? Because at the end of the day, BMU, you know what you would have done, just like I would have done, just like DL would have done? You would have got your dick sucked there too. And you would have had an STD there too. And you'd be just another fucking statistic because most of the men in this country lack discipline.
So here's the thing.
I don't know no man told no woman no. I know. Look at DL saying he looked like he said yes 1,000 times. I can't see you like DL saying
like stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap. Go ahead, DL.
Ain't no way in hell I would have said no, especially at that age. No.
Exactly.
Tired of you dudes acting high and mighty like you want to have been right there.
No. Listen. When I was in my mid-20s, listen, like I said before, I was that dude that got no attention and everything else when I was older. You know, when I was in high school and in college and everything else. Things changed once I joined the Army. And then I started seeing some things. And I'll be honest, I've done some off-the-wall stuff. I've done some wild stuff. And I learned from those experiences too. Yeah. So I learned to never get caught up by that type of nonsense.
And that's what I was trying to share with Tyrese. In Louisiana, it is a beautiful thing. I ain't gonna say a beautiful thing now because I'm older. But in Louisiana, ain't no niggas walking around not getting no pussy because big brother or big homie is always gonna make sure the nerd getting some pussy. I remember I swear I didn't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it because it's funny as fuck, and we need to lighten the mood a little bit. My uncle, I had an uncle who had Down syndrome, guys. Listen to me. His brothers, who are normal human beings, listen to me, Tyrese. They took my Down syndrome uncle and got him some pussy. Now listen, I don't care. Listen, in I think Louisiana is different than every other state. In Louisiana, when that one knows men say, hey, listen, hey, baby, come for a minute. Hey, listen, I know you're going to give me something tonight, but listen, my brother got Down syndrome. He never had no pussy. Hey, listen, I want you to just sit on it for a little bit. She's like, oh, no problem, baby, I got you. You can get, if I take 40 nerds to Mardi Gras, all of them going to get some pussy. Raise your hand if you've ever been to Mardi Gras. Raise your hand.
I'll be honest.
No, okay.
No, but I already know. I
agree with you.
Let me give you one little vision here, then I'm gonna let you cook. Go down Bourbon Street, and let me tell you what you see. I want you to close your eyes and just visualize. There are women on Bourbon Street eating each other pussy on top of a trash can. A nigga fucking a nigga in the ass, a woman fucking a man fucking a woman. There's women walking up to you butt naked saying, grab my titties, playing my pussy, bending over in front of you saying, fuck me. This is Mardi Gras.
BMU, DL saying what you got for us.
What you say, Tyrese?
What black man is saying is right. What black man is saying is right. And in those situations, you know, like the responsibility rests evenly with both sides. But to your point about the discipline, right? And three of us on this panel right now, Army. Black man, did you serve?
No, sir.
Okay, so three of us Army, right? So I was at Fort Bragg. Right?
Enough said.
I'm airborne. It is what it is. I'm airborne. You know how we live that life. But here's the thing.
Listen, I got friends at Bragg too. I know. I've been down there a couple of times, so I know how it goes down.
And Bragg ain't changed since. Ain't changed. Just put it that way. So here's the thing. To the discipline question. I can tell you.
Said, God bless America. I just thought about what you said, Tyrus. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My bad.
So I remember there was a night we in the barracks just kicking it, and some female came to the barracks whose husband was in the military, not in our unit, but somewhere in Bragg, and she wanted to have some attention. She came to the barracks, and basically half the platoon ran up in her.
You a bad
The line was literally down the stairs into the room down the stairs, right? And this was on old Smoke Bomb. If anybody ever been to Bragg, y'all know what I'm talking about. Did I participate in that? Hell no. Right? Because we was the first room they came to. Yo, we got this chick. What's up? You want to come on over? Y'all want to hit this? Hell no. I don't want nothing to do with that. Right? So there are times when you're gonna have discipline, and this is when I was young and in my prime. It was like, nah, we ain't want nothing to do with that. Nothing. Right? And that did turn into a thing. Right? That turned by the time, like a year and a half later, that shit finally made it to up the chain of command. It became a thing. And it's like, hey, man, I had nothing to do with that. But the point is, when you talk about the red pill, one of the things the red pill talks about, they say this all is one of their tenets, and they always catch smoke when they say it. They believe, and I believe this too, the vast majority of women smash the same percentage of dudes. It's like, so you might have the vast majority of single women, they all fucking with the same dudes. Now, Mardi Gras being an exception, they just banging whoever walking through there. But the vast majority of the time, but you have all these women talking about where all the good men at. You know what I mean? Where the, you know what I'm saying? How come ain't no good men out here? Because y'all all men are narcissists. All men are players. All men are this. Y'all dealing with the same dudes. Right? You cool when he takes you out to eat. You cool when he gets you onto the yacht party. You cool when you go to the mansion party. He's smashing you, smashing your friends. And then he kicks you to the curb, gets another one. And you come out and say, hey, dudes ain't no shit. Like, well, why don't you, these invisible guys are truly invisible to him. That's the manosphere stuff. So you go into the manosphere and you tell these guys, if you want women to see you, you got work to do. You're going to have to wash your ass, man. You're going to have to take a shower. You're going to have to get a haircut. You're going to have to learn how to talk to people. You're going to have to learn how to stop being weird. You're going to have to learn how to read the room, right? It's so many things you're going to have to learn to do, right? In order to get women to see you. And then once women begin to see you, got to do what True says. You might want to exercise a little discipline, because if she finds out you got some money, bro, she might try to have that baby on you. You know what I mean? And if she does, and you live in California,
that's it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't come crying to me because you're paying $3,000 a month in child support. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all part of the game. This is all the things you need to learn. But again, this is what we were supposed to be talking about, the red pill. That's one of the things that the red pill teaches. The people in the red pill, Tarus, and then I'll end the plane here. The people in the red pill point to these guys and they tell these guys, it's your fault. You are in the situation you're in because of you, whatever that situation is. And that is what you hear in the red pill over and over and over again. Yeah, you got your Myron Gazers. Yeah, you got your Andrew Tates. Yeah, you got your Justin Wallers or whatever. But they're not representative of what's in that space. They're just a few voices within that space. So I'll land it right there.
Right. So DL, we've had this conversation on your platform before too. I think I've told you before, I think the numbers are a little bit exaggerated. I think it's more 60-40. I know you guys say like the women are messing around with like the 20% of guys or whatever. I think it's more like
it's facts.
Like 40. You know what I mean? I agree with you that a lot of these guys are invisible. My issue is that a lot of these guys are invisible because of them. Because again, these standards, DL Saint, I'm going to be transparent because, bro, I didn't bag every single girl I talked to. Hell, probably the majority of women I tried to talk to in my life, it was a rejection, right? But the women I did mess with, guess what, bro? They let my broke ass smash. I didn't make no six figures DL. I didn't make no 60K or 80K DL at fucking 18, 19, 20. You know what I mean? It's almost as if those standards, like I mentioned before, those requirements like salary and your materialism only applies to dudes that they don't like.
But Tarus, the
Because
game
DL
doesn't change.
well,
But
hold
real
on,
quick, Tarus, in your scenario right there, did the woman you was dating with your broke ass, did she require you to pay her $200 for her to even agree to go on a date? Did she demand that you take her to the most expensive restaurant in town?
And I
And
literally
if
just
she
told
did,
you why. Because
and if
because they like me. They're not demanding that shit from people they actually want to be with, DL. They demanding that shit from dudes that are just
But how they
Tarus.
getting the norm though, Tyrus? If they're asking for
Bro, I
$200
don't BMU. The same way all these other dudes seem to still manage to go on dates despite being broke.
A lot of these dudes are tricking though, Tarus. I'm telling you, the game done
Yeah,
changed.
they
I'm not
tricking
saying,
hard.
yeah.
DL, you know I come at these conversations in good faith because a couple of years ago, you specifically told me how they be playing these dumbass games. BMU, when you mentioned my car yesterday, DL had told me that one of these lame ass I didn't know the dudes were doing it. But DLC said the guys would like take the keys or whatever and like put them on the counter or like the bar.
Yeah, at the bar. On the bar.
Yeah, I was like, brother, that's fucking lame. There's no woman that told them that shit was cool, DL. You know where they got that idea from? They got that from one of their homeboys. They got that from somebody on the internet who's like, hey man, yeah, if you show
But real quick, Tarus, just on that point right there. Maybe they got it from their homeboy, but you know why he kept doing it? Because it worked. He got some chicken head to fall for the BMW keychain on the bar trick. I ain't never did that. You'll never see me put my keys on the bar because I valet. Am I bragging? I don't think so. I think all grown motherfuckers my age should be valeting. But anyway.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, DL. Again, the stats say, did it really work? Because
if
again,
he smashed it, work. There are dudes out there
that have the materialistic thing, and the women still ain't fucking with them. DL. It's almost as if that's not as big as a deal as if the red pill is making it out to be.
I just ain't never seen this. I've never seen this many men fighting over spoiled meat.
And they are sport. That's what they're doing.
All this pre-owned meat out here. They just, you ain't getting no pussy. I mean, it's a statistic that shows that dudes are just not don't want to fuck no more. I wouldn't want to fuck either. I mean, if I look at if same as I lived in Houston right now, you think I want to go out on a date and smash somebody? And I see 35,000 new cases of STIs. I don't want to fuck them.
Yes, the majority of dudes still want to go and have sex. BMU. That's the reality.
Say it again. I can hear you. Say it again.
Going to go out there with the S. Guess what, BMU? Atlanta has had the highest STD rates in the country, right? Did that stop the dudes from smashing in Atlanta? No.
No, it just made them smash each other.
No, exactly. So the STD rates in Houston, is that stopping these dudes from trying to get their dick wet?
No, I ain't lying. No, I'm not lying. In Atlanta, they fucking each other. Them niggas fucking each other in Atlanta.
So, hey yo, brother Grant's in the building.
These dudes know how bad it is out here and are still raw dogging anyway.
Yo,
lack of dick discipline.
Well, ain't you glad you got somebody, Tyrus?
I am, and I'm hoping that there's a whole bunch of other people who get just like me. BMU, you know how much it sucks that it's just like guys like me, you, DL, Grant, and Anton up here? You know how much it sucks that BMU, I don't like seeing my guys out here struggling like that. BMU, you know that about me.
Yeah.
DL, you know that about me. That's the one thing I've consistently said. I don't like seeing my dudes out here struggling like that. But I talk to my guys like that because the standard needs to be high. And right now, the standards are so low, and the guys still can't meet the standard. That's pathetic, bro. And BMU, yes, and I get pissed off at that because BMU, the last thing I want is my two daughters ending up with some fuck-ass losers like that. Good God. I don't
know what it is also?
With some of these lame-ass dudes.
But you know what it is also, Tarus? And BMU, I think I remember saying this on your show at one point. The problem with some of these situations with some of these individuals, when they're growing up, when they're kids and starting to become adults, there's no balance. They're always getting just one perspective. They don't get both perspectives and then learn to build from there. Like, yeah, I learned things from my dad, and I also learned things from my mom. And then what they were teaching me, I learned to put it together, and I went from there. The problem is you got too many people getting only one perspective. And that's why they're so lopsided.
Well, it's that you're right. It's that, but it's like this conversation here. Like when I saw this, I'm like, oh, Truce wants to talk about red pill stuff. So let me jump up here and talk about red pill. But maybe 10% of this conversation tonight, we've been doing this a couple hours, has been about the red pill stuff. Like I'm really trying to like show you, to your point, like Truce, if you show me that red pill loser that you're talking about, the worst of the worst, like that dude. And if you're just saying your diatribe to him, he's just gonna, go run in the woods and stay away, right? But if he comes to me, I can welcome him in, man to man, let him know, like, you got some problems. Like, okay, tell me what you're trying to do. What's your mission, brother? And it's like, man, really, I just want to be able to have a conversation with a woman, man. I really can't even get them to see me. All right, cool. Let me show you how to do that. Some of these guys will say, man, I'm just trying to smash. Well, why don't you just, if you just want to smash, why don't you just go rent some, go buy some? You know what I'm saying? Like what black men say, man, why don't you go down to Mardi Gras? It's going to be some chick walking around with, you know what I mean? With her cooter cat wide open, man, you can slide up in that if you want to. But, if you do, just understand you in Houston. And when you in Houston,
we have a problem.
You're going to come back with something. You're going to come back with something.
DL, I literally said that in my monologue.
Well, I missed some of it because I was
are
moving around.
actually trying to give solid advice in the red pill, and you guys heard me say this before, the red pill community is necessary. There's a lot of shit information. And unfortunately, these guys, and the reason why I'm talking to them directly, DL, is one of the actions I want them to take is, again, choose better. Choose better people to follow. Because right now, the people, the most popular in this space, regardless if they're the few, DL, they're still the most popular. The shit's not working. Grant, good evening. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, as always.
Shout out, brother.
What you got for us, man?
What's good, Grant?
I mean, I think I most certainly side with the, I think the red pill. I mean, I do hear what DL is saying, and I think he has a particular genre or a particular type of red pill that doesn't appear to be the normal. But I actually do hear what he's saying. But I also think the problem, I mean, at least from my standing, is these young men don't understand what it looks like to talk to women, and that competency is not there, and it's apparent. And the thing that's also different too is, I mean, this is clearly a gentleman whose lives are going well in a number of ways. So I don't need anyone to give me their bona fides. I know you guys are doing well in life, and life has treated you well. But for these young men, life clearly isn't going well, and the ability for them to sort of break through and sort of find a partner requires more than sort of manufacturing this notion of your alpha maleness. And also, I think the other thing is being highly communicative, being able to verbalize who you are and what you expect is also important. I don't think a lot of these young men have that. And I think let's take away the cohort of women who may be problematic, correct? But let's say that there's a layer of women who are normal, have brains. You can talk about the philosophy of Hegel, correct? You can talk, maybe.
Hey, where's she at, Holmes?
Yes, exactly. Those women do not want someone who is going to speak in a manner that is completely disrespectful, who lacks the ability to talk through their desires. I just don't know if that's a right place for young African-American men or young Black men. I don't know if it's giving them the both the resources or the skills to go out there and fundamentally date. And the thing is so crazy. I grew up in what most people refer to as South Central LA, correct? I grew up in the heart of the crack epidemic in the 80s. Obviously, a guy that sounds like me is not at the top of the food chain, correct?
There's a big hit with the 60s.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's not as if I'm sort of, there is no swagger Plus, I wore uniforms. I went to parochial.
You ain't fooling me, Grant. Grant was a 60. He
12
just
years of
used to do
Catholic
their
school, so
books.
I totally get that. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Grant did the books for the 60s.
But my
First
bigger
snatchings
point
are
is,
down this quarter.
yes, exactly. My bigger point is instead of internalizing whatever I felt, correct, whatever isolation I may have felt, whatever sort of interactions that may not have been optimal, I couldn't turn that into being anger. I couldn't turn it into being duplicitous, correct? I had to turn it into something that allowed for me to succeed. And ultimately, I think for those who may feel rejected, and again, I'm laying out my own rejection here, so I'm not afraid of that because I'm not that kid any longer, correct? And ultimately, developing skills as you matriculate, as you get older, is far more important. Your 16-year-old self cannot be in my case, my 50-year-old self.
Come on.
And
I hope not.
yes, correct. But you have to at some point put that away. And then you've got to have something beyond what you hate. You have to figure out what you desire, and then you have to be able to go out there and retrieve it and get it. And I think having those skills is far more important than determining what you don't want.
Brother Grant, if you told me you live south of the 10, I would not believe you. I'm just saying it, man. I'm just gonna go out and go on record and say it.
Are you
I used
out
to
here?
be. I did a quarter out there, man. I used to work in Van Nuys. I'm a retired air traffic controller, so I worked at Van Nuys about 15 years and some change. I was down in San Diego for a minute. So yeah, bro, I was all, and I do stand up. I started at the Comedy Store on Sunset.
Get out of town.
We gotta talk.
Well,
we gotta talk.
Well, yeah, we gotta talk because I was an avionics technician. I worked at Douglas after I got out of the Marines working on helicopters.
Damn, and you a Marines? You crazy motherfucker sitting right here, y'all. Crazy man sitting right here.
I wanted to ask you guys, Uncle Jeff,
yes,
DL,
yes, sir.
Grant, Anton. One of the questions I wanted to ask you guys, especially about this space, I do not understand the purpose of having IG models and glorified porn stars up in the freaking podcast, and then we acting like this is how, or the content creators pretending as if this is how the majority of women think, especially because that kind of content is the most popular content in the red pill space, and they're clearly not trying to learn something about themselves so much as they're trying to just dunk on these women. Okay. And now we're seeing to the point where these young men are starting to have these ideas of women as a majority out here in real life based on what they hear from glorified porn stars. What do you guys have think about that?
I'm after Uncle Jeff. I want to go after Uncle Jeff.
Okay, yeah. Now, number one, just really briefly before I get into that, look at this panel. You say what you want to about black men. You say what you want to about all of the internet is monkey store and shit. If you think that and you can watch this, I want you to get something dull, ragged, and germy and fuck yourself with it. Now, I think that the this is some good shit. What was your question?
Yeah,
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, I like to fuck with you. No. I'm just saying, it's just a dope fucking show.
That's proof that he's a Marine. That's proof right there. He's a Marine.
Yeah. With love, I will fuck you up. No, really. What was the question? Just one more time, really quickly.
Just to remind you real quick, they keep using the OnlyFans models and
okay, yes, the OnlyFans models. Yes. Okay, I'm back. That's all I need. The OnlyFans models. Here's what we have to look at. You have to follow the cycle. And Grant was right at damn on it. You have to follow the cycle of the thinking of this individual. When they buy sex dolls, what do those sex dolls look like? They don't look like regular women, do they? I ain't never seen a sex doll with a fupa.
No.
So what these women represent for these dudes is access to the highest, because I don't have the game to get the highest. And I have an acronym for game. It's grown ass man energy. I don't have the grown ass man energy to attain a dime like this. I can't walk into the Ferrari dealership and buy the car I want. So I'll take this Ferrari with the multicolored flags on it at the used car spot that probably needs a $60,000 service, and that's why I'm getting it for $40,000. That's what these women represent. So what our job is, what I think a great show would be, is to again, there's a group of women that and I feel BMU, that he does not feel exist, that we believe is rare. I know they exist. I know right where to find them. Crimson Cure, Danica Marie, Erica Lachey. These are sharp sisters. Reva, these are sharp sisters. You need to find a panel made up of brothers and sisters that we deem to be fairly intelligent to critique one of them shows. Because what you are saying, have you ever seen the movie Malcolm X?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm about to Elijah Muhammad your fucking ass right now. When Elijah Muhammad was talking to Malcolm, he said, you don't have to overtell the people that this water is dirty. If you show them the clean water, they will drink the clean water. It is our responsibility to make that clean water you're talking about. How hard is it? Because I think you got a point. I haven't seen the show, but I think it's full of shit. I think I am lockstep with you, Tarus. Yes, young man. I told you I'm gonna live up to that ghetto Yoda Morpheus. Yeah, I don't know, Grant. I am the Yoda that for some reason the universe has assigned to Tarus. Because the other elders up here, they just get all they can do is get frustrated with him, and they can't relate to him. And he's like the wild horse till the dude walks up. The Indian dude walk up while the white dude's trying to figure it out, just walk up and start talking to the wild horse. That's what happened last night. I started talking to the wild horse. Started to jump around and buck up on me like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be scared of that. No. All right,
hey, Uncle
talk,
Jeff,
man.
you know you Sith. Come on now, you know you Sith. This you right here.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
No, I'm over on the Waste Window end. I'm on the Mace Window end. Oh, that's the other thing. Let me land right here, guys. I need to not eat up too much more of the room. I think we were talking about gaming a little earlier. I have a company. It's called Zero Frame. I too am a gamer. How do I put this? Gaming is kind of like weed. People think that smoking weed makes you incompetent and lazy because lazy, incompetent people smoke weed. The same thing with games. People think that games make you lazy and incompetent because lazy and incompetent motherfuckers play games. The truth is, we the only ones that's just playing. White boys making money over there. We need to put together squads and get some blood on our faces if we're going to play these games. Let's get the bread out of it. And yeah, I'll land it there.
So DL,
your question,
you remember the question?
Oh shit!
Yeah, because you were talking about why, like, you know, and you know, let's not, you know, let's keep it 100. We're talking about Fresh and Fit. We're talking about the Whatever podcast. We're talking about those type of platforms, right? Why do they continuously show these type women on the platforms? Two reasons. First and foremost, the biggest reason: money. That's why they do it. The second reason is entertaining, right? Because that is what the people are buying. Right? There's a product out there that people want. There's a group of people want it and they're buying it. I would challenge anyone to go into the archives. You will have to go on to Rumble to find it. You go back to year 1, year 2 of the Fresh and Fit podcast. There were some real conversations on that platform, in that studio, with real women who were not the OF fans. They were not the thoughts, and they were not, they had women on there who were in corporate. They had people in healthcare. They had just regular women who were hustling. And what I mean by hustling, like working their little corporate job at the daytime. And then they had one girl who was like, whenever she needed money, she would go and dance a little bit to cover the gaps, because she was an entrepreneur, a real entrepreneur. Like, she's still out there. I'm talking about Slow Jam. She's still out there putting out her product.
Checking her ass.
Hey, bro. They had these kind of conversations, and they were really good conversations. It was productive, and it would show you the difference between what men and women were looking for, and it would show you the disconnect that some women have when it comes to their perception of men. That's where that thing came from. Whenever you talk to a woman, it's like, oh, I want someone who's 6 feet, making 6 figures, has a 6-pack, and da. Where did that come from? That came from thousands of women saying the same shit. Then it got to a point to where someone created this delusional calculator. You guys have probably heard about this by now. I remember when they first brought it out on Fresh and Fit. This delusional calculator is like, you basically have a woman put in what she considers the type of guy that she wants. I want a guy who, makes this much a year. I want a guy that's making $100,000 a year. I want him to be black. I want him to be fit. Right? I don't want him to be obese. I want him to be single. I want him to be straight, not gay. They have a list, right? They put all this stuff in there, and the answer that this algorithm kicks out, that this app kicks out, which is all based on U.S. Census Bureau and all that kind of stuff. That's where they get the information from. It shows you what percentage of the population this particular guy
model fits.
Right. So. And then again, the early years were really good, because you would talk to a woman and then you would ask her, like, how many men do you think make $100,000 a year or more? And they would say all of them. They were like, well, what percentage of the population here in America do you think makes $100,000 or more? Most people have never even asked this question. No one's ever looked it up. And it's somewhere around 15%. So it depends on where you get your information, somewhere between 14 and 16%. That's the national average. Of all Americans, right? We're talking about fat people, gay people, married people, whatever. So women, it was just really fascinating to see that, wow, these women really do want the absolute best, and they have no idea how rare these men are. Right. But of course, now what they're doing, I don't subscribe to. It's like I said, it's entertainment for some people now. It's just garbage. You ask why there's so many OF fans on women on there and strippers and all that, because that's the only women who will go on that platform. You're not going to get a woman who's corporate and has a
step in that shit.
Yeah, she ain't gonna.
And they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you want to be on Fresh and Fit? Let me look that up real quick. Hell no, I'm not gonna do this. Right?
Exactly.
But no, I mean, but it's the Red Pill is a place where you can go, and then you can kind of see all these things for yourself. If you choose to follow some of the, HS Tiki Taki, who, by the way, isn't really Red Pill. They just, they needed someone wild in that documentary. So they got HS Tiki Taki because they couldn't get Andrew Tate. They didn't want to pay for him. But he's not really Red Pill. But you got a lot of guys in there who are trying to help. The Red Pill, actually, there are a lot of men inside the Red Pill that look like us on this panel. Older guys, successful guys, some younger guys, and dudes will come out and tell you, like, yeah, man, I hate to tell you, yeah. No, the girl next door would never act like that. Man, we all smashed the girl next door, bro. She just as freaky and a lot of times people don't realize, it's like, bro, the girl next door will be more freaky than the stripper. Mm-hmm. And y'all don't even realize that. You know what I mean? This is just part of the game. This is what comes out. And it's not, I'm not saying all women, and that's another thing, and I'll land it here. A lot of people say, well, you made this statement, you said all women. Like, I did not say all anybody. I'm not Sith. Sith talk like that. I'm a gray Jedi, right? I'm saying some. There are some people out there. There are some women out there who do this. And like, how come you don't go to church and get your woman? I'm like, no, I'm not going to nobody's church, bro. I got an agreement with God, man.
You don't understand. if somebody gonna send you to church to look for a woman, they really don't understand. Because that's the first. I'm not going to the strip club if I'm new to town. I'm gonna go to church. That's
yeah. My shit, he done froze again.
Give him a few seconds.
2, 4,
1.
And I'm back. Okay, it's just shitty internet. It's just shitty internet up here. Yeah, Grant. I'm in Big Bear, dude. Just great cool air, shitty internet. That what Saint brought up, this financial fallacy that these women have. What they are dealing with, taking on the ride is going to be worth the trip. You cannot stop an ocean liner just when you push stop. That some bitch going to ride for a little bit before it stops or turn. You are in the mental and social glide, these women are, of the prosperity of America in the 90s. They are thinking about some shit they watch their mamas and aunties do. They don't realize that that shit's gone. They don't understand the concept of calcified wealth. They don't understand how many people don't have what. They have set these rules, especially black people. This is brilliant. Black people are, but then again, niggas don't want something until they saw white folks with it. It doesn't have any value until they can. Black people have been chasing the farts of white people as long as they have made it and as fast as they have made it legal. This. I don't know. I don't get it. But it is that coasting, that social coasting, that it's going to take them a minute to hit the brakes, that it don't take none of y'all. This foresight that we have is ours to give. Those of you who I'm getting used to being the oldest dude everywhere I go. Those of you who are younger than me, again, look around. I'm gonna rock this. I'm gonna shut up. You know, when you watch sci-fi movies, the year is 2045, the year is 2061. In all these movies, even in the Marvel movies, somewhere after Act 1, the shit hits the fan. Somewhere at the beginning of Act 2. And they have to go see a council of elders. That's y'all. Y'all are the old people in the future. We are supposed to be doing this shit right now, because when the feces hits the rotary oscillator, gentlemen, and it's not that far from it, when America is finally pronounced dead, this shit is going to be something different. I don't know what. It's going to be something between The Handmaid's Tale and I don't know, dude. I don't know.
And the Book of Eli.
And the Book of, there you go. Somewhere between the hand. Thank you, sir.
I figured more of the Man in the High Castle or Designated Survivor or Red Dawn.
Anton, what do you think about the impact of OnlyFans models on the red pill content space?
It's all about getting someone's attention. That's basically what it's all about. Like the fellas said, it's all about entertainment. And George Carlin said it best. What kind of news sells best? Bad news. And people are always drawn to bad news or some form of negativity. Just cause. Plain and simple. Back to what you were saying also, Tarus, the best way I can describe what you were saying, and just like what DL and what Uncle Jeff was saying, the best way to describe how some people would do this, I got 2 words: unrealistic expectations. And that's been the problem. And they see that as the roadmap. They see that as the standard. And the only person I can see reaching that standard is the Son of God. But you're going to find one person still find a way to say, that's still not good enough.
Jesus ain't going to make that standard. He was broke.
Yeah. Jesus couldn't go to church now. Let him in.
Thanks,
can't pay the cover, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Grant, same question to you real quick. I just want to shout out a lot of people in the chat. Honey Wisdom, Byron, Tammy, Robert, Miss Pamela, Richard, Amir Khalifa, Match Pow, he's on the Twitch. The Omnibus Chris, shout out to all you guys. Braxton again, he's all up in there.
Ooh, Braxton's a good comparison.
Yeah, shout out Brax. What up?
Braxton, I never thought about
Cal
that.
Bright, all you guys. So Grant, what do you think about the impact or potential impact of the OnlyFans models on the red pill content?
Yeah, they're there for attention, correct? They're there to get clicks. guys see some boobs, they'll click toot sweet, as we say. And then it proves their point, correct? These women, clearly most of them are not smart. For every utterance of a word, you can tell that they clearly haven't read past the 5th grade. They clearly has not picked up a magazine, a newspaper, or anything worthwhile to learn words that adults use. And they're also stuck in a fantasy about what men look like. So they reinforce what is the hypothesis of the host of the male panel. But it also animates the groups of men who look at these women as the avatars of their love. These are the women who are their fantasies. These men perceive these women to be the women that they're going to be with. And although all of us know that those women are not in their strata, these women are seeking out men that fit their ideal. And they're talking about the men that fit their ideal. The young men who are then hurling insults at her are mad because they are not the ideal. And I think what becomes a problem is, instead of providing them with, an avatar of a woman who's, I don't know, can read at a postgraduate level, and putting them on the panel and having a conversation, that wouldn't sell, correct? In essence, these young men do not view those as the avatars of the women that they would be interested in. And so, these young men flood in with their frustration and their anger because they can hear the stupidity in the women, correct? These young men aren't dumb. That's the one thing I want to make clear. These young men are largely sitting in environments where there's other relatively smart young men. They are going to be gamers. They are going to be these isolationists. They're going to be hurled with other books to read by others within their community. These aren't dumb kids. What they are just, they have this asymmetry with who they are and what the world is offering to them to some extent. And given this asymmetry, they turn themselves into this sort of ragtag, bunch of, I know maybe somewhat
victims,
of angelic, very incels, unfortunately. And I would just say this to you, DL. I took a chance to hop over to your page. You're not red pill, sir. I mean, and I'm not saying that as pejorative. Good work. I think what you're putting out is diametrically opposed to what is the more broader sense of red pill. And I would just say, just in my brief perusing, it tells a lot about who you are. And I imagine, this conversation I may be having about red pill in a sort of broad sense, I would say is not any indication of what you're doing. And I'm not saying your description of it is incorrect or anything. I'm just saying, kudos to you. I do think if a young man shows up and watches any of your videos, they most certainly aren't going to be incels. And if they are, they'll leave very quickly.
Guys, do y'all remember the magazines that used to be popular before the internet, like King magazine, video vixen joints and all that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All these guys we're talking about, when they're trashing these women for their so-called delusional standards, if we were to give them a survey and ask them to describe their perfect woman, what would she look like? Would she look like the librarian they claim they like, or would they look like the video vixens? Uncle Jeff?
You actually caught me trying to figure out how to make a vertical. I was listening.
You good?
Well, I'll go before you ask. Yeah, I'll. What would she look like? She would. If you give a guy who's never been around women, we're talking about these red pill hardcore dudes, and you can say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna grant you one wish. You tell me whatever woman you want. You can describe her to a T, whatever she looks like, and I'll snap my finger and you can have her." And yeah, she'll probably look like those vixens, and she'll probably look like an IG model. She'll probably, because they don't know any better, right? It's like saying you can get a car, any kind of car you want, man. I snap my fingers, yours. What kind of car you want? I want a Bugatti. Like, bro, you can't afford You can't afford to sit in Bugatti, but all right, there you go. You got one. So, but in real life, realistically speaking, these guys, those invisible guys, they will take whatever is given them. Doesn't matter all this shit they saying. At the end of the day, when the cameras go off and when they finally work up the courage to come over here and talk to Uncle Saint, because I've been to countless events, and I'm about to start having my own events. When they come over, they finally work up the courage to talk to me. They come over with this hardcore rah-rah stuff, and I'm like, hey, slow down, son. You good? Ain't nobody watching, man. Ain't nobody listening, man. Talk to me, son. What's really going on? Like, what do you really want? What is your mission? And then, bro, almost all of them say the same thing. Like, man, I don't want a rotation. I'm not trying to have multiple wives. I just want one good woman who cares about me and respects me. Can you help me? I can show you the way, brother. I can't guarantee any results, but I can surely show you the way. And if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to meet you halfway. That's what I do. These guys need help, man. They don't even have friends now. They don't have friends. They don't know how to make regular friends. No one goes outside.
You know what it is also, DM? Let's look at everything that's happened within the last 30 plus years. A lot of the changes you see at a lot of schools. No recess. So they don't know how to interact. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to say hi. No gym. So they don't know the importance of how to stay healthy and physically fit. No music. No art. No dance. They don't know how to be creative, imaginative, and think outside the box. This is what's happening. When you got rid of all those programs right there I just named, recess, gym, music, dance, the arts, when you get rid of those programs, what do you have? The people that we're seeing now currently. People who don't know how to say hi to a person in the same room, but they can DM anybody for 3 hours like it's no big deal.
Okay, if I may, and I
5,
5,
4,
3,
2, 1.
I hate this shit too. I swear to God, I do. Cause see, you guys know I stopped before I know I stopped. I ain't talking to nobody. I hate this shit. And I hate to jump right into, but yes, dude? These dudes that this is social engineering. This isn't by happenstance that I can connect you to this thing that I can turn off. And when I turn it off, you are ignorant drones. You are ignorant drones. While I have educated my own children, I figured this shit out with my youngest, who is now finishing in his sophomore year in college. When he was in high school, I was an active father. I lived 2 blocks from his school. Wasn't none of this, you just up there. I'm up here too. I also was dealing with a private school in the city of Pasadena. This is when I found out that 84, I shit you not, was an A at John Muir Public High School in Pasadena. 5 years ago, an 84 was an A. Now at Maranatha High School.
That's pathetic.
At Maranatha High School, it is not. You are purposely making these worker bees. They are designed. We must undo that design. First off, it's only a fool that lets his oppressor teach his children. You start right there. All this, they taking Black history out of school. Pretty please with sugar on top, take Black history out of school because you fucked it up and lied in it anyway. There is nobody responsible around me for what young black children know more than me. I will be 61 years old. What's that? Frederick, I didn't see the
Frederick
top
Douglass.
part. No, what does it say at the top? I know Frederick Douglass.
Oh, it's the narrative of the life
the
of.
narrative. Okay, I didn't know what that said. I knew it was Frederick Douglass. Nobody's responsible for our children's history but us. We give it to them. Not this weekend. We've seen what they've done with it.
Mm-hmm.
These are the answers. The answers is to get ready for that book of Eli shit. How you think them people got stupid? Like this.
Yep.
Can't write it, dude. I said, okay, I'll say this in land. Can't write it in cursive. Can't read a map. Can't count change. Can't fix a flat. Can't ride a bike without a helmet. We had a name for them people when I was young. We called them retarded.
God.
Very simple.
Facts. Life in the 70s, baby.
80s.
Grant, go ahead. Give us your final thoughts, Grant. So we can go ahead and get up out of here. What's your final thoughts, Grant?
Yes, good conversation. With it's good to hear black men articulate some very great ideas, and I appreciate you allowing me the chance to speak. I just think if you're someone out there looking for anyone, I can only hope that you find yourself first. I think the one thing that has helped me more than anything in life is that the moment I knew who I was or who I am, I had a better way of determining who fit within my life. And it's worked out pretty well. And I do think there's a ton of resources, people who are seeking to help you. It's awesome to find out that DL has resources. And I know BMU does some different shows as well. Obviously, this is one of them, correct? Pay attention, seek out the people who can help you. Just those who are yelling at the top of their lungs, they usually don't have anything worth saying. Those who are measured and thoughtful, those who are going to provide you with insights and help guide you through the way, are far more useful to your life. And just take a moment and reflect on the people who are successful, the people whose lives are doing significantly better than yours. And just imagine the steps they took to get there and the steps that you aren't taking and why you're where you are. And so if you reflect on those things and begin to see the dichotomy between your life and others, I think you'll begin to see that the people you should be listening to are the people who truly have figured it out to some extent and may have the kind of advice that's going to help you going forward. And so I think seek out those truths, seek out the people who have a sense about themselves, and just maybe, you can find the kind of success you're looking for.
Yeah. And everything Uncle Jeff said was on point, guys. And the red pill addresses that too. They call it escaping the matrix. Everything we talked about here, these conversations are within the red pill, the Mano Swamp community, whatever you want to call it. So, and before we got here, I know we got to go. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all, man. Steph, Charus, Black Man, really appreciate y'all. Every brother on the panel. This is one of the best conversations I've had this year. I mean, and I'm not talking about online. I'm talking about anywhere. And these are the kind of conversations that keep me going. This is like, all right, this is going to make me not stop. Like I'm retired. I could just sit around and do nothing, but this is going to keep me working hard to help these dudes. And anyone out there who's listening, you think Manosphere is horrible and all red pill shit is crazy, I challenge you to go listen to Rich Cooper, listen to Dr. Orion Taraban, listen to Michael Sertain, listen to DL Saint. Just go out there and listen to what some of these people listen. Listen to Professor Scott Galloway. Imagine that. Professor Scott Galloway is part of the red pill world. Wow. Go out there and listen. There are people out there who are talking about this problem we have. And the man, like Taru said at the beginning, was the best monologue I've heard all year anywhere. He is absolutely right. Yeah, he is absolutely right. Men are shitty today. So what are you going to do about it? I'm not the kind of person that wants to get organized and go march in with the army. I'm a paratrooper. I go in feet first, right in the middle. That's how I handle this business. I jump right into the
legs.
middle.
That's what it is, bro. You don't like legs.
Like legs, man. I don't normally talk to y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I normally don't. I'm doing this for the red pill. but I want to get in there and I want to help I want to save one young man from finding himself in the family law court, either on Hill Street or in Van Nuys or wherever in the world. I want to help one young man not get his heart broken and get devastated to the point where he wants to end it all. You know what I'm saying? He wants to self-delete. I want to stop that man who doesn't think that he has a chance in life and goes out and hurt other people before he hurts himself. That's what I'm trying to do. And if I could just stop one, you know, I think God will like that, or God, or the universe, or whoever it is y'all pray to. You know what I mean? It could be the Anunnaki.
Right.
I don't care. I'm open to everything.
No.
You know what I mean? So, but that's where I am with it, man. So again, thanks for having me, Truce, man. I really appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely. DL, plug your book real quick.
It's not done. I just finished the manuscript, so the book isn't done. I'm gonna need another 60 days. But I got the manuscript done. Now I just got to get it. You know, I got to pay to get the books actually made. I'll be back in 30 days and I'll plug it properly. But come check me out on I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm on Gumroad, DL Saint on Gumroad. You can go there. I have a bunch of ebooks out there. Other products that covers red pill stuff. It covers how to be a stand-up comic. If you want to be a comic, I got ebooks on that. I got ebooks on networking, fashion. So just, you know, check us out.
Hell yeah. Thanks for coming up, man. Anton, what's your final thoughts, big bro?
Wow, this was definitely a great discussion we had and everything. It really it is. I'm glad I jumped onto it and everything else. Now, the piggy bang what DL was saying, just like I was saying before. If you're tired of your current situation, do something about it. And the problem is with some guys, they don't want to put in the work, but they want all the benefits that come from it. What's the one thing you always hear from successful people? How'd you get to where you are? You know what they say? I read books. And I think that's what sometimes people got to do. Open up a book. If you have trouble reading, get Audible, get Libby, listen to an ebook of the same thing. Be willing to change yourself for the better. I didn't say become someone that you know you're not. Become a better variation of who you currently are. And the problem with some guys, they're not willing to put in the work or the time or the effort. Like I said before, I was one of those invisible guys. I was one of those guys that got ghosted. I was one of those guys that got friend zoned. But I realized I had to make some changes. So I did. And I was willing to do that. Not to be a jerk, not to be disrespectful, not to be misogynistic, but to be grounded. To have that assurance and confidence. I didn't get to this overnight. It took time. I had some setbacks. I had some hiccups. That's okay. I learned from it, and I kept it moving. Or as we like to say in the military, I Charlie Miked. And that's the problem with a lot of these people, with a lot of these guys. They don't have a sense of resiliency. They don't know how to get back up when they fall down. And we've heard it too many times. Tarus, DL, Unc, being in the service, we've heard it too many times. Get your ass back up. Dust yourself off. Continue the mission. Keep moving forward. And I took those things from what I learned in the Army and I applied it. I read books on how to become a better version of who I am and applied it. And I think that is the problem. People are too scared to change. But hey, if you don't want to change, continue to bitch and moan, suck on your thumb, fall on the floor in the fetal position, sit in your own piss. Go ahead, keep doing that and blame the world for it. Or you can do something about it. And be mindful of where you get your information from to become a better version. And the one thing I will say is this. There's no such thing as bad operations. Only bad leaders. That's all I got to say. Know some words we're thinking about.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for being up here and joining once again. Uncle Jeff, thanks for
Hey man,
hopping
that
on
fetal
with the final
position.
thoughts. Oh, what's up?
That fetal position and all that piston stuff, man. What I do in my bedroom is my business, man. I don't need you going up here talking all that stuff, man.
My bad. I didn't mean to put the business out there like that.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Just remember to change your depends before you go to sleep.
That's right, man.
You filthy motherfucker.
That's pretty funny. So,
Go ahead, Unc.
hey, man, I know we was plugging shit because this tonight's show's being brought to you by the Family Secret All Natural Body Butter. People ask, hey, Uncle Jeff, how you get your skin so goddamn smooth? Well, it is this: shea butter, jojoba oil, coconut oil, beeswax, and black castor oil.
Oh,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0.
That's all.
Did he double freeze?
Yo, I think you
Double
did.
froze.
Hold
Oh, good Lord.
Yo, he needs a PJ out there to set up.
Why do you? I can't believe this is some horrible shit.
Yo, you need to find a PJ that can help you up with your satellite, man.
Man, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy that what's this gadget? It's this thing where you can just you can sit it anywhere and it's like stronger than a hotspot.
A rose?
Now that sounds like some shit that women play with themselves with. No, not that.
Sound like the Pearl Rabbit.
Yeah. No. I don't think that's what I'm not in the market for that. So. I'm fine in that area.
Get some.
Fine in that area. Thank you for asking. I also am plant-based. I'm plant-based, so my dick gets so hard the cat can't scratch it. I don't have no problems there.
Black man wrong.
I have turned into that uncle. I have turned into that dude. But
Grant, this is what happened when you stuck in a place full of vets of guys in the service. We just.
You know, I feel the worst for Tarus because this is the Jedi that you have had assigned to you.
Hey, it's fine. I got really cool Jedis assigned to me so far. I got you. I got DL. I got BM. I got Anton. I got Grant. I'm good.
Yes,
I'll be all right.
We are the court, and we are around you.
Hey, Grant, best way I can describe it is like this.
If
this is us sober, imagine us with some alcohol in the system.
Boy.
So guys,
more liberal than Qui-Gon Jinn. I'm like, goddamn, Truth.
So guys, before we get out of here, my final thoughts is this: we had great conversations, great back and forth. For my current red pill viewer who right now is an unfortunate loser, you can change. And guess what? It doesn't actually matter your age, because right now people are living longer. Medicine's getting better. There's always time, especially in our country, as bad as it is, to reinvent yourself. Some of you guys, due to no fault of your own, again, I say it, you lost the birth lottery. So unfortunately, you got to build confidence the hard way. You don't have a dad to really mold you to how to be from a boy to a man. So one of the best ways to generate some self-confidence is to really start investing in yourself. And then I'm not even talking about just going to the gym. I'm talking about one of the best feelings is if you can have $25 sitting in your savings account and actually let it sit there for a month without touching it. Then you put another 25 in and you let that snowball. I need you guys to go get on your bank's app or a wealth management app, because a lot of these companies today are zero trade. I do not care if you only have the money for one share, that one share of whatever company you want to buy is still greater than zero. Progress is progress. Do not think you need to start progress at some artificially designed number. You start with the number you got in your pocket now. But one of the things this confidence is going to help you guys build is one of the biggest things that we lack in this country today, our American men, you specifically, and that's commitment. You guys have hard times committing to anything, never mind women, because first and foremost, you can't commit to yourself. The best way to commit to yourself is start small and let it snowball from there. Those are my final thoughts. And by the way, listen to the OGs like Uncle Jeff and DL. These guys know what they're talking about. And so all you guys, thank you so much for rocking with me. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being active. This was a great panel. I know we was rocking a little bit longer than normal, but I'm glad we did. Tyrus the Warlock, this is Black Man Unfiltered. You can like, share, subscribe on this network. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe at my channel as well at Tyrus05. Guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Black Man Unfiltered Network. We ain't here to play nice. We here to flip everything they told you was normal. Hey! Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we flipping tables. Yeah. We breaking labels. Facts. No more silence, no more favors. Truth hit hard, can't save it. Yeah. We flipping tables. This that real, no cable. Hey, if it's fake, we unplug it. Welcome to the table. Yeah. I came in the room, they was comfortable, quiet. Smiling in your face, but behind it is riot. They told me be calm, but I'm built for the storm. When the truth in the building, you better transform. They don't like a man when he speak with direction. They love you when broken, confused, and correction. But I'm on a mission, I'm changing perception. No filter, no fear, just raw intersection. System designed just to keep you disabled. Mentally trapped, spiritually labeled. I'm cutting the cords, the lies getting fatal. If it ain't the truth, I'm flipping in the table. We flipping tables. Yeah, we breaking labels. Facts. No more silence, no more favors. Truth hit hard, can't save you. Yeah, we flipping tables. They said don't question, I said watch me. Too many men out here living sloppy. No guidance, no code, no structure, no lead. Now we wonder why families bleed. This ain't hate, this accountability. Look in the mirror with this vulnerability. Masking and frame with responsibility. That's what they fear, that's stability. I'm calling it out, no sugar, no glaze. We breaking these cycles, we shifting in the phase. Legacy built, not lost in the maze. We done being silent, we enter a rage. This ain't just a podcast. It's a movement, it's a reset. If it's built on lies, it gotta fall. We flipping tables, no fear, no fables. Black men rise, we stable. Now we changing the label. We flipping tables. Truth is non-negotiable. Black man unfiltered. This the voice they ain't controlling. Flipping Tables podcast. Black Man Unfiltered Network. If it don't make you uncomfortable, it ain't real.